I see you brought guests. Welcome, friends.
Hello everybody, give me just a second. Welcome in, Raiders. How is it going? What were you getting up to tonight? Tell us all about it. Welcome, NB pals, guys and gals, back to the Rogue Room with Abigail Beck. I am your host. I had what? What's over there? Oh yeah, raid lights. That's right. My girlfriend is on top of production value because I forgot how it goes. You're going to bed, Radio Dread. Thank you so kindly for bringing all your friends over to kick us off tonight. What a bloody legend you are. And just as you're heading off, we'll give you some lovely party lights, which are nowhere near as flashy and vibrant as they should be. This is just like, this is the best I've got. Hoping to elevate my production value soon. But anyway. I can flex, but honestly, this top is so damn tight. This is a large mesh top, by the way. Us. I can flex, and honestly, what's weird about this top, I know I have muscle definition, but you cannot see it. It's got like a fuzzing effect. Anyway, welcome in, folks. Tonight, we've got some things on the agenda. We're kicking off a couple of seconds early, I guess. A couple of minutes early. Cause yeah, I'm not gonna like let Raiders sit at the starting soon screen. I'm not that kind of person. I have some things to whinge about, which, you know, is the main format over here at the Rogue Room. I whinge about things. I complain. I'm one of those people. I'm a social commentator. For anyone who is not familiar with me, I'm one of those people. I'm a person who has opinions and strongly believes that everyone should listen to her. Okay? So listen to me. That's the important thing. Anyway, yeah, the rent is too damn high. You're going to write as you listen. Sounds good. That sounds awesome. Hell yeah. We love writing. I've been trying to get more into my writing recently. I've been trying to revisit some ideas in terms of literature, fiction, you know. I have been letting myself slack a little bit, which is some of you might have noticed last week. If you follow me on the Bird app, which is a nightmare. Don't go on the Bird app, it's hell. But some of you might have noticed last week I put up a tweet about potentially having ADHD. And the reason I say this is because I have a bunch of things that I want to focus on specifically, but have no specific drive to do so. It's very difficult for me to focus on honestly anything other than streaming and fitness. Those are the two things that I am able to just stick with. And I really honestly want to seek a diagnosis of potentially having ADHD, because I've looked at the list of symptoms and, and you, Ziwa, of course. I've looked at the list of symptoms and I know, like, self-diagnosis can be, people have every right to criticize the idea of self-diagnosis, don't get me wrong. But I think without the option to self-diagnose, you probably wouldn't be able to seek treatment in the first place. So I think it's generally a positive thing. If you can look at the symptoms of a certain thing, whether it be autism, ADHD, even more serious stuff like schizophrenia, it's probably worth considering it. Anyway. The rent is too damn high. I'm right, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Pretty much, homonym. The rent is too damn high, and it's going up for no good reason. Wages aren't going up. Wages are stagnant. I'm not getting more money, but they're going to charge me more rent eventually. There's a whole lot of shit wrong with this property, honestly, that I'm living in. And we're going to get into properly, like, the rental issue that we're dealing with at the moment. There's a whole lot of things wrong with this property. They can't justify increasing the rent as things stand. There are things that have been broken since I got here that I have complained about. Nothing's been done about them. They haven't earned the right to increase the rent. Okay. I'm going to be more doing some more non-fiction. Anarchism and education is your jam. Sounds good. Sounds good. Good luck with the ADHD diagnosis. It's a pain in the ass to get. So I have heard, yeah. So fingers crossed for me. I'm going to talk to my doctor soon about that. I should have asked today. I forgot. But anyway, they're well, not yet. Not yet. There was talk about it relatively recently, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a tricky situation with, like, the unit that I live in being sold in the near future. So I don't even know if I'm going to be living here soon. But for anyone who missed it, thank you for bringing this up, Fox. On a completely unrelated note, let's just do a bit of catch up, because the last week abouts, I've not actually been streaming, just chatting. So we're back to ye old format. The Rogue Room with Abigail Beck is our talk show. Generally, we talk about the news, politics, social ideas, social discourse, those kinds of things. And I did exercise at home today because your girl got a fucking treadmill. I got a treadmill. It's awesome. It's awesome. I worry that I'm annoying my neighbors because I share a wall with someone. I worry that they'll be pissed off with the fact that I'm now going to be doing HIIT in the mornings. Treadmill and not a PS5. Yes, here's a little bit more lamentation before we get into the serious shit. This morning, Ziwa and I sat on the phone because we received, like, a notification from a PS5 stock alerts account on Twitter that said tomorrow, that being today, a bunch of stores in the Sydney area would be getting PS5 stock. And we rang every single one of them. And the lines just kept ringing out for like 40 minutes straight from 9 a.m. So we couldn't get it. We got through to 2 stores in particular. And they told us by the time we gotten through, the stock was all gone. So, you know, I have no idea when we're going to be able to get a PS5, which fucking sucks because I really want one. I would like to get one at some point in the not too distant future, but there is no way in hell I'm paying a scalper. Which is what annoys me. Is like, I want to know, I would like to know for certain how many of those PS5s that were limited stock were scalped. And quite frankly, I think there should be a way. Don't ask me how to do this logistically. There should be a way to put yourself on a waiting list with... I mean, I'm going to contact my local stores that do sell PS5s, EB Games, JB Hi-Fi, Good Guys, I guess. Anywhere else that sells PS5s. I'm going to see if there is a waiting list I can get on. And maybe like put a deposit down for. But yeah, the fact that there is not like some kind of there really should be a measure in place to stop scalpers from even happening. I don't care what the justification is for just let them buy it, aside from, you know, money. They've paid for it, so they own it. Should be illegal to do what they do. Is it not illegal to scalp? I mean, I don't know. You're mates with the EB Game staff? I used to be. I used to be mates with the EB Game staff. But then I realized they weren't mates with me. When I was younger, I was a lot more awkward. As a teenager. Like, teenager, late 20s. Early 20s. Teenager, early 20s. I was desperate for friends. So I started trying to make friends with the EB Game staff. On the basis of course, you know, I was trying to get a job. So I was trying to network at the time. Trying to, like, make friends with these people. You like my Balisong, Jerry? It's pretty cool, hey. It's sadly only a trainer. It's blunt, but, you know, I do like it. It's my favorite fidget toy. I've got a bunch of fidget toys. This is my favorite by far. I'd like to get good at it. I'm slowly, like, developing a bit of a skill for it. It's good shit. Got to get a trainer. They're illegal and all. Yeah. And you can get all kinds of really cool trainers, but yeah, you can't get an actual Balisong knife, sadly, which sucks. Which I guess I understand because, you know, they're dangerous and all of that. There is a list of knives you can get in Australia, actually. If I recall correctly, I was browsing through it, and of course, yeah, there's butterfly knife listed as, you know, illegal. You can't have it for whatever reason. What would be the reason? If you can own any of the other knives that surely might be just as dangerous, you know, a knife in general, like you can get a knife that folds out, like as in a self-defense knife. You can get yourself a knife that goes, but you can't get, like, say, a switchblade which flicks out. Obviously, you can't get a Balisong, which is mainly used for tricking. I mean, I'm sure somebody's stabbed someone with a butterfly knife, but let's be real with ourselves. People get these kind of things to show off. I love It's a concealment thing. I mean, fair point, actually. I had not considered that. But couldn't that also apply to, like, the pocket knife? It's me, I'm the girl. If you get mugged, you do mad tricks, they run off scared. That's my ambition with learning to do this stuff. I want to intimidate people with my mad Balisong skills. Oh, you want to mug me, bitch? Check this out. Yeah, that's right. I can do things. I can spin this around. What are you gonna do? Huh? And then they'll get scared of me because they'll think it's a real knife because I'm moving it way too fast and they think it's an actual blade. And they'll run away. Oh my god, that bitch can flick a knife. Meanwhile, he's holding a gun. He's terrified by the knife. While he's preparing to fire his weapon, while he was spending time preparing to mug people in the streets, getting up the energy, I was studying the blade. Fuck, hey. It's always weird seeing, like, regular emojis in Twitch chat. Is this just me? I feel like it's weird seeing regular emojis in Twitch chat. Anyway, in Canada you can get smoked hard for flip blades in your pocket and stuffing a folder in your boot. A folder? Simply cut the... Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the mugger folds a bullet and I just go flick, and, like, the bullet slices in half in midair, and two pieces fly beside me, and just my hair goes whoosh in a dramatic thing, and then I'm just like, on guard, you little shit. I've seen enough anime to know knives beat guns every time. Oh fuck. Media is great though, isn't it? I love media where that kind of shit happens. Like, I'm sure you've all seen that clip of someone who snipes somebody else. It's an anime clip. And this girl is dodging the sniper bullet, and it floats gently between her large bouncing bosoms, because that's how that works. Was it High School of the Dead? There we go. I don't anime, so I don't know these things. Yes, it's the same scene. So one guy's balancing a sniper on another girl's tits, fires a bullet at another girl, and she dodges the bullet by it going, like, one tit flops up, the bullet goes under it, and the other one goes down, and the... Anime. What they don't show is she smoked the anime pipe beforehand. Oh, folding knife, okay. The flushing emoji's essence hasn't been captured by any emotes I've seen thus far. Maybe I need to make a flushing emoji emote. I feel like I need that. I need to get Twitch partner so I can get more emote slots so I can get a flushing emoji emote. It makes sense if you don't think about it. Most things in mainstream media do, honestly. Like if you stop considering the impacts of our reality in the fiction we watch. I completely believe that, for example, you can just sling yourself around with a whip like Trevor Belmont or Indiana Jones. You just him messing around with Bad Bunny emotes. Oh, Ziwa scored a Bad Bunny sub. Fuck yes. Something interesting. In the UK, it's illegal to have lockpicks on you, but only if the police catch you. Interesting. I mean, what if you need them for your job? There are people who legitimately use lockpicks in their job. Don't they? Locksmiths? I mean, they've probably got specialized tools which are not technically lockpicks. I don't know. Excuse me. But wouldn't that be true of any crime? Honestly, it's only illegal if the cops catch you. I feel like it's illegal to do everything in the UK. It's illegal to be trans in the UK. And you know, if you stop drinking water, you never need to drink water again. On this episode of The More You Know. Locksmiths are exempt. Do they carry their locksmithing papers around? Like, it'd be the perfect crime though, wouldn't it? Learn to become a locksmith. Go into the locksmithing trade. Become a professional locksmith. And then go and rob people because you've got the legal papers that say, look, I'm allowed to carry lockpicks. Anyway. It should be illegal to be a magician, right? Because of their dark powers. You would think so. But that didn't stop New Zealand for having a wizard on council for like since the 1980s or whatever. And he recently got fired because he was a creep. You like my makeup? Thank you, Cowpoker. I think I did a good job tonight. I'm also wearing false lashes. Fun fact, these are falsies. They're kind of cute. Oi mate, where's your serving full fish license? These magicians can float off the ground below. It's the devil's work. There are some magic tricks I've seen where it's just legitimately like, how in the everlasting fuck were you able to do that thing? I should stop fiddling with this because I'm probably like making a lot of noise in the microphone. I don't know. Probably annoying you. Anyway, you're allowed to carry lockpicks but not rob people. Well, again, it's only illegal if you get caught. You could... We could debate the merits of murder on that front if you wanted. How morally reprehensible is it to murder a person? If you don't get caught, was there ever a cry? Hey mum, can I have some lockpicks for locksmithing? Yes. Actually commits crimes like a boss. You can be as creepy as you like in New Zealand, just don't try and take some of Sir Peter's delicious pie. Well, this is the thing. The creepy wizard of New Zealand was recently fired. Well, we did read that story. We did cover that story. Yeah, New Zealand fired its official wizard. Official wizard. I still can't get over this. And somebody told me they're related to the guy. I forget who told me they're related to the guy. Ian Brackenbury Channel was paid $16,000 a year to provide acts of wizardry for the city of Christchurch. See what? Give her the head pats. You know you can give them to me yourself. I should change the price on that one. Anyway. Maybe, yeah. It's too cheap. I need to rack up the price so that, you know, you put more value on amethysts. You know, technically, the channel point system is a pay-to-win system. Because if you are subscribed to a channel, you get more channel points. If I recall correctly, you get a multiplier on your channel points. So if you subscribe and you want more channel points, which I should honestly, is it 1.2, 1.25, 1.5? Oh, okay, yeah, wait, there we go. So the more money you pay to your favorite Twitch streamers via Twitch subs, the more channel points you get. So I need to add like more enticing rewards than For example, the best reward I have so far is the real ultimate nothing, lol, which costs 3 million. There's no incentive to buy. I mean, honestly, I'm with most of my channel point rewards, I'm taking the piss out of microtransactions. So many countries. It's not genocide if no one punishes us for it. Basically, yes. So, yeah. Australia, China, the US. Loads of them effectively committing genocide in numerous different ways. Eastera so soft. Oh yeah, you might notice that the green dragon's gone for tonight. She's been taken care of. Saving up for that one. What, the genocide? I shouldn't have made that remark, honestly. I'm a terrible person. You should definitely subscribe to me instead of giving me money on coffee, because then I get less money. You should subscribe to me as a punishment for me making a joke about genocide. Buy genocide TM bonds today. Well, yeah. Wouldn't that be the case generally in any sort of war bonds scenario? I don't know. I don't know how war bonds work, honestly. What was the deal with war bonds? I never looked into those. I never paid attention to what war bonds were. I'm on mobile. Can only do so much on mobile. This is why we don't like mobile games, because there's only so much you can do on mobile. Honestly. What was the on the subject of mobile? I'm thinking of like mobile video games, which we just mentioned a second ago. Who's been paying any attention to the promo surrounding Eternals? The latest Marvel superheroes, Marvel Cinematic Universe comic book movie film. Who is at all interested in seeing that movie? Because I'll tell you one thing, I sure as fuck ain't. Legitimately, everything I've seen of the preview so far, I haven't watched like the official trailer, but I've seen clips. It legitimately looks like a fantasy mobile war game. That's the level we're at with Eternals. It looks like...
Your gift to our patronage is most appreciated, friend.
Princess, you are officially my simp. I have to give you, and this is not a derogatory. I officially have to concede that you are my simp, Princess Andromeda. Second biggest simp. Thank you kindly. For 5 tier 1 subs to Stuff Slacker, Sanavel, Namaroff, Seal Jono, Smelly Cat 1901. Thank you so much. Pro tip, just buy war bonds from the winner. Hello Isaiah, how you doing? Poggies. So that's our daily sub goal fucking obliterated. Let's fucking go. Let me change it. Hell, why not? Let's boost it up. Anyway, Proggers. Yeah, well, I'm hoping Proggers soon. I'm talking with my endocrinologist shortly. I'm getting my blood test done tomorrow? Probably tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. And I'm going to talk to my endocrinologist on the 12th. And we're going to have a bit of a chat about me going on progesterone, which will be cute. Haven't seen a Marvel movie since Age of Ultron. There's been some good ones since Age of Ultron. Endocrinologist. The person who studies the blood. And monitors things like hormone levels and the like. You weren't even close. But yeah, mine said to me, I'm coming up on officially a year on estrogen, on estradiol. So that would mean I can look at upgrading to progesterone. Not upgrading, I'll still be taking the estradiol I'm already taking, but... Pro tip, buy duffel bags full of unmarked, non-consecutive serial numbered money off the dark web. Do people still use cash anymore in a COVID world? Oh goodness. But yeah, like honestly, there's been some good Marvel movies since Age of Ultron. I did like the Thanos movies. I did like the Spider-Man movies. I liked Civil War. Like there were some good movies in there. Guardians 2. What else was there? I never saw Captain Marvel. I never watched Black Widow. And honestly, like, I think me, like a lot of other people, I'm feeling really like Endgame was where they should have just stopped. Because I think a lot of people are definitely like, Endgame was a good ending for the whole lot. And they just kept going past that point. Like, what really strikes me is, like, what's the point of doing a Black Widow movie when, spoilers, they killed her off? What's the point of us doing a flashback Black Widow movie when she's not alive in the modern timeline? Spoilers, if you didn't know that already. I feel like it'd be impossible for you to not, anyway. We're now bartering an MCU merchandise. Well, that's going to be the eventual, like, what's the term I'm looking, like, the post-capitalist society. We will revert to bartering in MCU merchandise. Generally speaking, the Disney apocalypse will, you know, it's going to be like a Mad Max kind of scenario. Big, vast deserts, and just people scavenging the wasteland looking for Avengers Age of Ultron t-shirts, because they're worth a lot of money. Well, they're worth a lot of value. You know, you want to buy a bottle of water and maybe a crumb of bread. That Age of Ultron shirt is going to get you somewhere with that. Okay? Maybe even a single tablet of some nondescript medication, which might help you with that cold you've been dealing with or something. Post-apocalypse Immortan Joe playtime? Yeah. You feel like there are franchises where there are just so many things happening that I can't be bothered to care because it feels overwhelming. Agreed. It's honestly getting to the point where, like, the MCU has now reached that critical nexus of we have so many characters in our universe, and we think it's only logical that almost every single one of them get their own movie or Netflix series, or not Netflix series, Disney Plus series. Or Disney Plus short, or whatever. It's like, no, there's such a thing as too much in a franchise. I have not seen the new Adult Swim trailer. I've honestly never been particularly interested in Adult Swim. What is my watch doing? My smartwatch is telling me I've walked 10,000 steps. I've been sitting here for the past, like, half an hour, not doing anything. Somehow I've walked past 10,000 steps by staying in my chair. Good steps. I mean, I did most of those steps today. I can walk 10,000 steps, but let me tell you, it's exhausting. It is rather exhausting. I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got good cardio, and I'm trying to work up to that, I suppose. Buy one of my pre-printed black and white. I can't afford to print in color. Pictures of huge anime boobies since the internet won't exist. Is that like physical NFTs? How's that gonna work? Like, dude, NFTs. And what the fuck's the deal with NFTs? Why are people so invested in this? Did you hear that Ubisoft embraces blockchain games and NFTs amid harassment scandals? Which, you know, I mean, I get it, don't get me wrong. It's always worth bringing up the harassment scandals anytime Ubisoft is in the conversation. Just anytime at all. We see that you're using an ad blocker. Yeah, you can continue seeing that I'm using an ad blocker. I'm not going to read your article. Crypto Bros, Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Lab doubles down on blockchain. This is back in May. No, there was a new article. There was a more recent article. Fuck NFTs. Agreed. Here we go. IGN doesn't give me shit for having an ad blocker, I don't think. But yeah, like, we heard recently that Ubisoft, and I mean, I don't really go deep into gaming news all that much, but this is worth talking about, I think. Ubisoft plans to create its own blockchain games to enable more play to earn. I'm going to use my little thing here. So yeah, NFTs are a massive scam, right? They're a huge fucking scam. Enormous, massive. They're like the Beanie Babies trend. Or what's a more apt comparison? I think Beanie Babies, trading cards. Well, trading cards ended up paying off, kind of, didn't they? Because there are definitely Pokemon cards, for example, that are worth a fair bit of money. But like Beanie Babies, people investing in NFTs now, thinking they're going to be worth something in the future, when they're not worth anything now. You can't do anything with them. Pogs are probably a good indicator, a good thing. But at least with those, you had a physical object. With the state of NFTs, what you're doing is you're paying a cryptocurrency, which you have to pay real money to get in the first place, unless you already have it, of course. But you buy. You're using this cryptocurrency to buy these NFTs, which, by the way, are categorically massively destructive to our planet. Like, the use of energy. There was a good video, if I recall correctly, that we could watch. That says daily subs 5 out of 1. Give me a second. Let me fix my daily sub goal so that it's not hanging off the side of the screen there. Anyway. There we go. 5 out of 10. Happy sub. Sorry to done on run. Playing D&D but wanted to drop in and break your goal because fuck your goal. Thank you for breaking my goal. I've put it up now though. Just to really give you the middle finger.
Enjoy your membership.
Jerry Bonglord, thank you so kindly for the tier 1, you legend. Choose wisely. You can buy down payment on car, rent, unique image of pixel art monkey, and they're shit artworks too. I'm sorry to break it to you, folks. Any of those artists out there. It's the who was it? What we say? It's the billionaire's final troll, right? We're in the end game now, so stock up on end game collectible Funko Pops, pretty much. And like it's really like the last fuck you to artists, honestly.
Your gift
a hype
to
train
our
is fucking hell. Are you
most
serious?
Appreciated, friend.
Now that's just rude. Are we gonna have a competition here? You're gonna break my sub goal, and then I'm going to put it up again. You're gonna break it again. Princess, thank you so kindly for gifting a sub to Pyrogena, Momo, Maria, Grimthorpe, and JuneFox13. Fuck you too. A hype train is close. If you want to chuck some bits into that, if you wanted to gift a sub to somebody, anything at all, anything you've got, feel free to throw it at us. I'm just gonna bump it up again because I'm gonna do that. Fuck it. We got to 11 subs. Now it's going up 25. There we go. I'm doing that. Hello, Alex. How's it going?
Yeah, I see you, princess.
She's calling you out, princess. She's calling you out. Anyway, call it an even 300. Yeah, we'll go for 300 subs. The thing that annoys me about NFTs is like, at least if you bought trading cards, at least if you bought Beanie Babies, at least if you bought Funko Pops, even. At least you have a physical object that you now own. And if you'd buy an NFT with a cryptocurrency that has virtually no value as it stands, it's like, what's it called? Like a speculative value. It's basically a bunch of people saying our thing is worth this much on the basis that maybe a company promised us they'd give us this amount of money for this amount of thing. But yeah, at least if you bought a Sekiro Funko Pop, for example. I bought a Sekiro Funko Pop because I like Sekiro. The thing is, I have no intent of selling him for more money later on. I just think he's cute. And he is. Anyway, also, fun fact, I couldn't actually buy it because I'm not allowed in EB Games. I had to send my girlfriend in there with my debit card to get it for me. It pays to have a girlfriend, slave, whatever. Anyway. If it's between NFT or Nerf Elite 2.0 Commander RD6, I know where my funds are being diverted. Hang on. I feel like I know this one. Do I have this one? Or did I have this one? I feel like I had this one. Oh no, I don't have this. No, this is a new one. This is newish. Oh, buddy. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. That's a pretty Nerf gun. Is that the next evolution of the, not the Magnum. Not the Magnus. I've got Chunky Mega Magnus over here. But what am I thinking of? What's the revolver? What's the revolver? Nerf revolver. Let me think. I like that one. Ooh, that's cute. Why did you put that in my mind? What's the revolver? There's a couple of them. There's the hammer shot. The hammer shot's fucking sick. The strong arm. I've got the strong arm, which is this bad boy right here. And then, so yeah, I've got two hammer shots, which are great because like you can literally operate them single-handed. You can cock the hammer. Pardon? Yeah, I've got two of those. I'll show you later. Anyway. And there was also, yeah, the strong arm is the evolution of an earlier Nerf revolver, and it looks like that thing is that other one. What's it? The Commander? Damn. How do we get onto this? NFTs. We went from NFTs to Nerf. Nerf is a way better spend of your money. Remember, it's Nerf or nothing. Period. This is me being serious with you right now. It's Nerf or nothing. Anyway. Hello, Milex. How you going? Facts. Facts. I could show you my... you can see my sword. You've seen my main gun. This is my main sidearm. My Mega Magnus. And I don't want to actually leave it cocked because that's dangerous. Always uncock your Nerf guns. Cock. Let's see. These are coated in dust, by the way, but give me a second. I got 2 of these. This one of my favorites. Again coated in dust. I just got dust all over my room, probably in my coffee too. Lovely. And there's a bunch of other ones in there, but honestly, I need to take those out the backyard with my kids and just shoot them. For fun.
I see you've brought guests. Welcome.
Pinkzel, hello. Don't take me saying I'm gonna go shoot my kids in the yard out of context. Always on what? Just record this moment and take it in for an ADHD diagnosis, I swear. You're saying this isn't... Do you mean the current discourse we're having? Pinkzel, hello. Here's our raids sequence. Enjoy. Welcome to the Rogue Room, folks. My name is Abigail Beck. I am a discourse streamer, generally speaking. We talk about stuff. Usually social issues, but at the moment we're talking about why you shouldn't buy NFTs and instead buy Nerf guns, apparently. The NFT to Nerf discourse. The NFT to Nerf pipeline. How good does she look tonight? She do. Didn't do my nails. I should do my nails. 6:30 a.m. You stayed up far too late playing New World. Are you enjoying it at least? A place of acceptance, learning, and growth, probably. We've been playing the Outer Wilds DLC on stream the last week or so. It's fucking lovely. Goodness. It's a fucking sick coffee mug. It is, isn't it? Look at it. It's sick. I've had this thing for like 10 years, honestly. Not the biggest MMO fan, but you are obsessed. Nice, nice. I found myself, honestly, I find myself ruminating on WoW a lot. I'm never going back to it, mind you, but I spent so many years playing World of Warcraft. I had this mug when I was still playing it regularly, which was, quite frankly, probably as late as 2013, I think, was the most recent time I was regularly playing WoW. But anyway. It is tight. You can still get those. If you just look up Knuckle Duster mug online, you're bound to find one exactly the same, honestly. They still sell them. They still sell the exact same one. I remember the packaging. I'm trying to remember if I can find it. There's a few. Here we go. This, I'm pretty sure this is the one that I've got. Knuckle Duster. Oh, go away. This one, yeah. I might even get a new one soon, just because this one's on its way out. It's great. I love it. It does the job well. There's a few other ones too. Like there's one where the Knuckle Duster is like sort of bent into the handle, which is interesting. I don't know if I like that. Anyway, oh. Thanks, eBay, for dead naming me on my own stream. Good job. Well done. That was my fault. Anyway. Oh, the fucking sub goal again. Jesus. It's off the side of the screen. 11 out of 2. Must we? Okay. There we go. 11 out of 25. Can we hit 25 subs? Can we hit 25 subs before I even do any actual news? Sorry. Anyway, let's get back to this. So, Ubisoft just concluded its Q2 earnings call. This is not one of the stories I planned on reading tonight, but we're going to do it anyway. And then we're going to do Rent. We're going to talk about Rent and TERFs, probably. There is a video I want to react to. Ubisoft just concluded its Q2 earnings call, a strange event where relatively okay financial numbers were overshadowed by the company being on the defensive due to delays, workplace allegations, and questions about free-to-play. Do you folks remember that recently Ubisoft announced they were going to do the first quadruple A video game? Whatever the fuck that means, I think it was their ambition with Beyond Good and Evil. And given that there was a particular focus on... They were collaborating with Joseph Gordon-Levitt to bring a bunch of independent artworks into Beyond Good and Evil 2. And I bet you the NFTs thing is going to come into play with Beyond Good and Evil 2, and that's probably going to be where they're going to divert their, like, quadruple A front. It's honestly like the games industry is becoming really deeply entrenched in some gross practices. Not even just on the sexual assault front. Yes, they were trying to collab with Hit Record, yes. Which I think they still are. Anyway. Ubisoft's future blockchain ambitions were mentioned both in its earnings release and a few times during the call. As noted during its press release, Ubisoft is funding blockchain gaming company Animoca Brands, which advertises itself on its website as the global leader in branded blockchain gaming. Sounds like someone's about to go meta. Oh god, kill me. Animoca's current projects include Rev Motorsport, Rev Racing, and the upcoming Formula E High Voltage, all of which use the same token called Rev to enable players to own digital assets and collect NFT in-game items. This all sounds like nonsense. It honestly sounds like a pyramid scheme. It sounds like LuLaRoe for men. Anyway, or what, Sensi? It also has a game. No, at least if you get into a pyramid scheme and you buy the product in order to sell it onwards, at least you've got the product to show for it. It also has a game called The Sandbox, a virtual world full of NFTs called Sand. Oh wow, wow! You can get sand, guys. You know, if I wanted to play a game with sand in it, I'd boot up Journey. Anyway, or what's that? There's that game that has all those wonderful little pixelated physics elements. What's it called? Do you know the one I'm thinking of? Noita? That might be it. I think that's it. Yeah, Noita. Something went wrong. Oh, thank you, Steam. Okay. Fuck you too, then. In addition to its funding of Animoca, Ubisoft is a founding member of the Blockchain Game Alliance and has been exploring the technology generally since its early development. CFO Frederic Duguet specifically called blockchain a revolution on the call. It seems like everyone is getting into blockchain these days, but what does it mean for Ubisoft games? Don't get into NFTs and don't get into blockchain. Please don't. You can get sand in the sandbox. I mean, realistically speaking, what better way to describe sandbox games than there's too much sand? I'm just going to throw this out there. I feel like the majority of sandbox games these days just throw a bunch of fucking bullshit at you. And it's just a sandbox overflowing with sand at that point. There's just too many things going on. Too many collectibles to pick up. Too many side quests that have no meaning. Too many little activities to do that are just repetitions of the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, I almost actively avoid open world games at this point because I know they're going to be exactly that same experience. I'm keen on Elden Ring though because I trust From Software not to do that shit. I expect there'll be a little bit of like maybe collecting items and stuff like that generally. There might be like a little bit of a collectathon element and a few little quest lines here and there that take you across the world, but I don't expect From Software to push their boundaries too far. CEO Yves Guillemot confirmed during the call that Ubisoft both wanted to invest in companies working with blockchain and organically to create its own games, while Duguet indicated elsewhere we might see it end up in Ubisoft games down the line in some form of new monetization tactic, which is, we all love new monetization tactics, don't we? That thing with the scalpers in the PS5s, that was certainly a monetization tactic I wasn't ready for. Cunts. Blockchain will enable more play to earn, that will enable more players to actually earn content, own content, and we think it's going to grow the industry quite a lot, Duguet said. We've been working with a lot of small companies going on blockchain, and we're starting to have a good know-how on how it can impact the industry, and we want to be one of the key players here. What does any of this mean? Honestly, what does any of this shit mean? Blockchains, any NFTs, and anything associated with them have been extremely controversial as they've gained mainstream attention in recent years, most notably due to their immense negative environmental impact, but also due to the red alert levels of scam inherent in the NFT business as a whole. There's a few Twitter threads that I want to take a look at if I can find them. One of them was where somebody went into a bunch of NFT game dev related Discord servers, and like that's a whole thing. And there was a thread on like why NFTs are a scam. I will try to find them quickly, but anyway, because we'll talk about that. And this thread, oh no, this ends here. There's also a Kotaku article talking about why Steam has decided to shut NFT game dev prospects out. So you know, if you're still lost as to what NFTs and blockchain are and why they're upsetting people, The Verge has a great explainer here. While GamesIndustry.biz has published its own industry-focused teardown. Dujouet did attempt to stave off criticisms like this by noting the importance of learning the impact on environments and said Ubisoft was still in the early stages of exploration, but it's entirely feasible we can look to Animoca Brands games for a rough idea of what Ubisoft might want to do to integrate blockchain monetization tactics into its franchises such as Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Watch Dogs, Tom Clancy games, and others in the future. Anyway. Excuse me, you buy a product, you've earned it? I don't know. Anyway. There is a whole article here explaining what NFTs are, good lord. Oh my god, that's a lot. That's a lot. I do know that, so Ubisoft is getting worse, basically. But yeah, there is an article there, on The Verge, which would give you a bit of a rough breakdown. If you're bored, hate yourself, and still confused, ask a straight white man aged 20 to 35. Fuck. Oh, good lord. These are big articles. It's not even close to what I wanted to look at tonight. Anyway. Let me see if I can find these threads. I'm never going to buy a Ubisoft game ever again. No fucking way. Okay, so... let's see. NFTs are harmful to games. Let's see. There was a good thread on this. Oh yeah, there's also this article by Kotaku, which is fucking hilarious. 26 NFT developers send very sad letter to Valve after Steam ban. I promise we'll get into my actual news. I wanted to talk about rent. Earlier this month, Valve instituted a ban on all cryptocurrency and NFT sales on Steam. This not only laid down rules governing the future sales or lack thereof of titles on its platform, but also booted a few games off that had already launched and were based on the technology. In response, a group of 26 developers, along with 3 other groups, Advocacy, Group for Fight for the Future, Engine, an NFT platform, and the Blockchain Game Alliance, see image above, have penned an open letter complaining about Valve's decision. To Valve Corporation, Fight for the Future, Engine, and the Blockchain Game Alliance, along with 26 blockchain game companies, call on Valve to reverse their ban on Web3 technologies on the Steam platform, such as blockchain games and NFTs. Games that utilize blockchain technology and Web3 token-based technology like DAOs and NFTs can positively enhance the user experience of games, create new economic opportunities for users and creators. This is the thing, right? Create new economic opportunities. That's a scary thought. That's a genuinely scary thought there. It's like we're taking what is just essentially a hobby, right? Let's be real with ourselves. We're taking and this is honestly what's bothering me is like gaming used to just be chill out and play some video games, and now it's definitely moved much further into this avenue of if you play video games, you need to find some way to make money off the video games you're playing. It's a really weird dynamic. Anyway, tokens in particular open up vast possibilities for users to interact, collaborate, and create tangible digital worlds. What does that mean? That's word salad again. Second Life, yeah. And items that were previously impossible, not true. These enhancements make games more decentralized, democratic, interactive, player-focused systems. Nobody wants that shit. People want to sit down and enjoy a game and chill out with it. We don't want decentralized, democratic, player-focused systems. How cynical does that sound? Good lord. I just want to play Shadow of the Colossus and not fucking worry about the fact that maybe I have to buy an NFT to access a boss. What the fuck? They also present an opportunity to streamline and modernize intellectual property rights in ways that would greatly benefit both independent creators and established corporations. I like how they don't elaborate on any of this. These innovations would bring with them enhancements to music distribution, book publishing, collectibles, and more. And this is like, the way this sounds, I'm just going to put this out there right now, the way this sounds is that they want to effectively turn the games industry from a place that's already deeply entrenched in micro monetization, so pay little bits of money to access more bits of content. They want to do that across the board in such a way that you would pay for a certain asset that you could then loop into whatever video game you want. I've seen this kind of conversation happening, and it's just completely infeasible. Like, it's completely unrealistic. Hello, Clara. How's it going? It is cooked. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, they also present an opportunity to... Yeah, we read that bit. Yeah. Valve is recognized for their willingness to experiment and innovate not only with their games, but the Steam platform itself. Shockingly though, I mean, I'm going to stand up for Valve here for a second. Valve tends to go for technologies they see actual potential in. And if Valve and Gabe Newell are looking at NFTs and going, obviously this is a scam, we're not going to put this on our platform, other people in the industry should be looking at it and going, yeah, it's probably going to backfire on us. Because for all of Steam and Valve's flaws, all of Gabe Newell's flaws, you do have to concede that they seem to be on the ball with this kind of stuff. Considered as pioneers for changing how gamers sell and trade digital game items over a decade ago, Valve likely understands the impact in a more concrete medium. I think Twitter might be working on an NFT tab, and Adobe is putting an publish as NFT option into their software, so yay. Not Epic. Epic has decided they're going to let NFTs on their platform too.
Thank you for continuing your membership.
Hey, T.
Thank you for 5 months of Bants and Biceps.
Us, you get that one for one tier 1 sub. It's not even free, but you get that one as a bonus. Don't make me flex too much, or I'm going to ruin this fucking mesh top I'm wearing. Thank you so kindly, T, for the 5 months, you entire legend, you. Wait. In the spirit of that pioneering vision, we ask that you take a chance on this rapidly growing technology. Remember your roots, let the industry prove itself as a positive contributor to the overall gaming ecosystem, and reverse your decision to prohibit an entire category of software from the Steam platform. Blockchain, and this is in italics for whatever reason. Oh, it's quotes. Blockchain games are pioneering a number of new concepts that will invigorate the gaming industry for players and publishers alike. Look, I'm going to throw this out there. This reads like... Were you ever were you a teenager when video games were a thing? And you were the kind of teenager who was like, I got a great idea for a video game. I'm gonna write down all these ideas for a video game. I'm gonna send them to my favorite game developer, and they're gonna hire me and they're gonna bring me on, and I'm gonna work in the games industry because I got all these great ideas. That's what this shit sounds like. This sounds like that, and it continues beyond your teens sometimes. This kind of wild, dreaming nonsense continues on into adulthood. And these people are delusional fucking morons who think they've got the best idea in the world for how to revolutionize the game industry, and it's simply not going to work. There's no evidence. They've got nothing to show for what they are planning to bring into the game industry. There's nothing there. Worse still, what I have seen of some NFT related video games is stolen artwork. Which is, you know, you think art would be the focus of this kind of thing. There's literally stolen artwork on at least 1 or 2 different video games I've seen related to NFTs. This shit is a scam to its foundation. Valve implemented their weird market that I still don't understand. They should have noticed it wasn't exactly a useful market structure. Yeah, exactly. Again, that is a flawed system that they did implement, and they still, they maintain... You're absolutely right, Trash Cat. Valve is really good at making money and innovating for better or worse. Hi, I'm gay. I'm also gay. Which was kind of a precursor to this nonsense, somewhere between the in-game microtransactions we have. Why does my teenage voice sound like an old lady? Because I've heard a bunch of teenagers who really want to sound like they're older, so they artificially deepen their voice. And then every so often their voice cracks. It's funny. I can't even do a proper voice crack. Doesn't sound right. Kind of a precursor to this nonsense, yeah. It's literally free money for them whenever someone trades a digital Pokemon card, true. Which is silly nonsense. Let's continue with this. To cut off the burgeoning sector at such a crucial stage of development is to ignore the remarkable progress we have achieved this year while creating unfair access to market for incumbents. What the fuck does that mean? While creating unfair market to incumbents? We wish to invite an open dialogue with the people at Valve. Oh, we've heard the open dialogue line before, haven't we? As well as a broader mainstream gaming industry to better understand their perspectives on the challenges ahead and to determine how we can collaborate more effectively in future. Sebastien Bourget, President, Blockchain Game Alliance. I bet you there's like 3 dudes working in a garage or something. Decentralization with cryptocurrency is often misunderstood and viewed as a threat to the status quo. Well, I mean, it is a threat to the status quo if they go ahead with it and they actually make any significant progress on it. Because like I mentioned before, this is going to end up making the already prohibitively expensive gaming industry, like it's getting more and more expensive to get into video games as a whole. This is going to make things even worse. You know, the last thing we need is, you know, something that should be a fun hobby for all to get involved with, pricing so many people out of it. I guess this means the big companies could make NFT games more easily than these peeps, probably. In the case of players owning NFT gaming assets, closed platforms see it as competition. The narrative from those walled gardens regarding blockchain technologies is similar. It's either not in line with their core model or the technology is simply labeled a larger risk. The future of gaming is decentralized player-owned assets, where gamers are valued for their time and effort spent in game. Whether that's an NFT or other asset class changes. What the fuck? Future of gaming is decentralized player-owned assets. This, again, word salad. Whether that's an NFT or another asset class, changes happening. It seems like, yeah, they're just wildly ambitious on this front without having anything to show for it. Valve Web3 games are a fast-moving and exciting category of games that have a place within the Steam ecosystem. Please consider changing your stance on this issue and permit tokens and, more broadly, the use of blockchain tech on the Steam platform. Don't ban blockchain-based games on Steam. Valve hasn't responded to the letter, and NFTs are a scam. This is the thread. This is the thread. Let's finally talk about how NFTs are a giant scam. Okay, this is the one that I wanted. This is the thread that I was thinking of. There was another thread that is related to this. Also trending in Australia, Caitlyn. I hope that doesn't mean Caitlyn Jenner. Good lord. Anyway. Trending with Big Brother AU VIP. It's got to be Caitlyn Jenner. Guarantee it. Anyway. This is the thread that I was reading. I read through this already. But I can't remember what the thread was that was... If anyone can find the one I'm thinking of. Where, yeah, somebody went to a bunch of NFT game dev discords and poked around. You'll see a whole bunch of shit that's just like, they've got nothing. They've got next to nothing. They've got worse than nothing. They've got some dog shit art. That's it. They've got no actual progress on any of the development of whatever the hell it is they think they're doing. It's all just a bunch of guys whacking each other off, thinking that they've got the best and brightest minds working on the next great revolution of video gaming. It's kind of sad and hilarious at the same time. I promise we'll get into like the renter news in a moment. There's still like a bunch of other articles that we could just turn this into hang on. I got an idea. Let's move off rent for a second. Let's just change this. Okay. Let's stick with this trend for a moment. NFTs are a giant scam. Still, that can be our title. And what we'll do, I'm just going to do something really quickly. So I can change my title a little bit later on. I've got this fun little button on my Stream Deck. And I can change what my title is. Oh. There we go. Title and category change. Okay, sweet. Let's continue with this bit. I want to continue with this bit. Feel free to chime in if you have any thoughts. Let's finally talk about how NFTs are a giant scam. First, let's talk about what the NFT market actually is. Unlike buying bonds, equities, real estate, or actual art, you're not buying something with any tangible existence, rights, or utility. You're buying an expensive entry in someone else's database. I'm going to bookmark this, actually, in case we need it again later on. I swear I liked all these posts as well, but whatever. I like too many things on Twitter. There is one comparable market to NFTs, the star naming market. Yes, this was good. I loved this comparison. This is way better than my thing about the Beanie Babies. Back in the 90s, some entrepreneurs found you could convince the public to buy rights to name yet unnamed stars after their loved ones by selling entries in an unofficial register. You could buy the rights to name the star, and they'd send you a piece of paper claiming you were now the owner of said star. Nothing was actually done in this transaction. You simply paid someone to update a register about a ball of plasma millions of light years away. Thing with star registries is they're not unique. And let's stop on that for a second. That's honestly the most gratuitous example of human selfishness one can imagine. Paying an inordinate sum of money to own a star millions and millions of light years away. It's like, yep, I own that particular star over there for no conceivable reason. Like, let's just say, for example, there is life elsewhere in the universe who lives in that star system. And you've just claimed their source of light and power. Okay, sure, buddy. Anyway. Thing with star registries is they're not unique and don't actually convey ownership. The entire grift is convincing other people that it has meaning. The value of naming is a star is precisely how much bullshit your loved one is willing to buy in this enterprise. In addition to the International Star Registry, several other registrar chains popped up claiming to offer the same service. Name a star, star naming gift, star name registry, etc., all claiming to offer the same service with an equally alleged authoritative registrar. NFTs are the evolution of this grift in a more convoluted form. Instead of allegedly buying a star, you're allegedly buying a JPEG from an artist. Except you're not buying the image, you're buying a digitally signed URL to the image. Except now, instead of buying your digital star with dollars, there's a second leg to the scam. You have to purchase the star by exchanging your dollars for some weird token whose value fluctuates on some secondary market. And listing digital stars on the register is a pay-to-play game that requires you to purchase these weird tokens at whatever the available exchange price is, thus creating synthetic demand for the token and driving the price up, which is convenient for those who own token. The core of the NFT grift is outsourcing the marketing for this artificial scare registrar to artists who are forced to pay large sums of money to upfront to list URLs to their artwork in the hopes of recovering their lost costs. Artists are like hamsters in a wheel that powers a giant casino, for crypto bros to gamble on these signed URLs in the hope that they can flip their purchase around to greater and greater fools for a profit. NFTs impart no legal ownership, give no rights to the artwork, are non-unique, and provide nothing of intrinsic value, except the signed value of owning bragging rights to announce to other crypto bros about a shared collective delusion about database entry. It's like if someone went around selling receipts to an item that they bought a week ago. I bought this toothpaste and I made the machine print out 30 receipts, and I'm going to sell you receipts so you can claim technical ownership of a percentage of the toothpaste that I bought. And the market for these exhibits some strange behavior. This is where it gets really interesting. Person A buys an NFT for $10. Person A sells it to person B for $10,000. Person B sells it to person C for $100,000. Person C sells it to person D for $10,000. In the above scenario, person A, B, and C are the same person shuffling money between anonymous accounts, and person D is a sucker tricked by artificially fake demand. This is known as wash trading, and it's illegal in most other markets. So basically, money laundering. You might have heard of that. NFTs are also a near-perfect vehicle for money laundering. Yeah, like I just said. Say you're sitting on several million tokens that are traceable back to a ransomware attack and want to cash out for one at a South Korean crypto exchange. The exchange won't let you because of AML laws. So you create an NFT of rock or something, sell that to yourself on one of the NFT platforms, and presto, you've used the NFT platform to turn dirty tokens into clean tokens that the exchange will let you cash out into real money to hide the crime. You can repeat this process, launder basically unlimited amounts of funds through an entirely synthetic market for JPEGs that could mask arms sales, cartel deals, human trafficking, terrorism financing, or whatever illegal activity you want to layer funds to get away with. Owning real butterfly knives. I'm going to use NFTs to hide the fact that I've got a huge stock of real butterfly knives in Minecraft. Like every market madness since the South Sea Bubble or Tulip Mania, I don't know what those ones are. Everyone knows that selling $1 million JPEGs is an irrational exercise in greed. Yet people suspend their sense of reason and believe in popular delusions when, in fact, there is no there. I think some of the wording's gone out the window with this. Whole communities suddenly fix their minds upon one object and go mad in its pursuit, that millions of people become simultaneously impressed with one delusion and run after it till their attention is caught by some new folly more captivating than the verse. Charles Mackay. Oh, hello, Smudge. I think the South Sea Bubble was buying island. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I do remember that one. Like all crypto scams, the essence of the NFT grift is in recruiting new believers by convincing them a blessed database is an authoritative registrar of value. Just like star naming the grift isn't about utility, it's simply a shared delusion in a get-rich-quick scheme. Finn. There we go. There's more there, but I mean, yeah, NFTs are a scam. An economic scam thing from the beginning of capitalism, which the UK government is still in debt because of. Suck shit, UK government. Anyway, shouldn't have been involved in the scam. The South China Sea. Okay. Well, there's a good little breakdown of it, and there are these people who are trying to incorporate these fake ideas, these receipts for items that don't exist into video games and turn them into an even worse capitalistic nightmare than they are currently. So that's always fun. Anyways. How did we... That was... Yeah. ADHD. I'm pretty sure. Anyway. UK government still pays annual debt because of it and only finished paying off the debt from paying off all the slave masters in 2018. Oof. Oh. Yike. Slave masters. Oh yeah, I've got a candle here. I just realized I've got a candle here. For anyone curious, that's what that is. I've got a candle going. Quite nice. Hopefully my cat doesn't jump up and like knock it over or whatever. So what are our thoughts on that? What are our thoughts on that whole thing? That's I am going to save these other articles into my video research bookmark folder because I'm not going to read more NFT stuff right now. I don't think. I want to react to a video. There's a video I wanted to react to. Excusez-moi. But yeah, we're like this thing. Can anyone at all be shocked about this whole scenario here? Again, I feel like Ubisoft is probably... This is going to be... Because they are the ones doing Beyond Good and Evil 2, right? I didn't get that wrong. I feel like that NFT thing is going to somehow play a part in that. In the whole quadruple A video game thing. But anyways. That's something. That's... I do recall watching Doe streaming something about NFTs, like trying to learn about it in depth. And I didn't understand any of it at the time, because it's honestly just... I'm sure you would understand it if you were into it. And I think there is some potential actual value in crypto, maybe, but I'm certainly not going to start investing in it, because I'm a broke bitch who needs money. At no point in debates about UK national debt being too high was just not paying the descendants of slave masters because their ancestors owned slaves came up, but also paying reparations to the descendants of enslaved people is a bad thing because that shouldn't be done, apparently. So hang on, let me do that again. National debt. That's weird, yeah. Doing IRL stuff, but we'll have your stream open and doing the leg thing. Sounds good, Festa. Sounds good. But also paying reparations to the descendants of enslaved people is about... Yeah, like... You can only imagine why they dance around that. You can only imagine. Anyway, there's a video I was going to watch here because like this came up. What was this in relation to? I can't remember. This is in relation to conversion therapy and stuff like LGB Alliance. So again, ADHD, I think. I don't know. I can't confirm just yet, but we're gonna jump around from topic to topic. We'll do the rent thing shortly, I promise. But I wanted to get this out of the way. I've started recording because I want to do a video for YouTube because I don't have a video for YouTube. And I might even do like a bunch. Might even do a bunch of videos throughout the week. Come up with different stories that we can go to. But at any rate, I wanted to click on this. I should have clicked on it before I opened up.
We've ended up having...
So this is actually from the LGB Alliance YouTube channel. So we're actually giving them a view right now. We're being heinous. So this is from... This person is Bev Jackson on the Brendan O'Neill show talking about conversion therapy and detransitioners. You can only imagine what they have to say about these things. I think the volume might be a bit loud, but anyway. Don't understand how NFTs use so much electricity for something so arbitrary. And no mining cryptocurrencies use a lot of power, but I still don't know how NFTs work into it. I think we'll need to look into that as well, honestly, because it's a wild concept that I think somebody put together this demonstration or like a little what's it called? A little infographic that showed how much energy they use, and it's the same amount of energy as some small countries. I think like they're using that much energy daily is the same as certain countries, and I'm like, how? What are they doing? What exactly is going on here? Anyway, fucking O'Neill's one of the spiked dweebs. So we're going to listen to a couple of wankers right now. Talking at the same... It's no actual
We've
video.
ended up, haven't we, in a situation where we are giving drugs to young lesbians in order to...
That's a weird phrase to start out with. We're giving drugs to young lesbians. Oh, are you? Presumably Brendan O'Neill. I don't know what Bev Jackson sounds like. But this guy sounds like the... an entire ship container of batteries per day. Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount.
Correct what is considered to be their wrong gender or their problematic approach to life.
Yeah, and you know what that's called, don't you, Brent?
Their problematic approach to life. I thought they didn't like the word problematic. What happened there?
And it's called conversion therapy. That is conversion therapy.
That's not conversion therapy. Okay. Let's just clarify right off the bat. We've already got something to debunk here. That's not conversion therapy. Giving a child medication, giving a teenager, generally speaking, medication to deal with an issue that requires medication is not conversion therapy. It's a wild concept. Mainly Bitcoin mining has a difficulty setting that's set to try to maintain a constant rate of new blocks being mined. Oh, okay. Could power every commercial building in the US for 2 months, if I recall correctly. Fuck me dead. Anyway. Oh, wrong one.
That is, and that is why the most difficult issue that we have to explain to people is the issue about the attempts to enforce a ban on conversion therapy. It is
get ready for this.
Unbelievably complicated to explain why we oppose this ban. People think, well, how could you possibly be opposed to a ban on conversion therapy?
Okay.
So can I try and explain that now?
Please.
Please try and explain it. I can't wait for this. Hello, Echo. How's it going? Also, the individual who once said medicine is choosing it rather than having the choice chosen for them. Precisely.
First of all, if you look at conversion therapy about sexual orientation, then everybody thinks of those horrific images of people being attached to electrodes and having given electric shock therapy in order to try and cure them of their homosexuality. That is, of course, utterly disgusting, and fortunately we have not seen that in the UK since the 1970s. Although there may be certain religious sects that try to talk people out of their sexual orientation.
Well, that's quite frankly right, that one there that she's just dipped her toes into. Sorry to interrupt, I suppose. Not really. I don't care for interrupting these people. They can suck a dick. But what she's just started saying, like some religious organizations will try to talk people out of their sexuality. That's called psychological abuse. All right, let's clarify. The modern interpretation of conversion therapy has pivoted away from more outright explicit torture methods to psychological torture methods. So to try and convince people that, generally speaking, conversion therapy these days is broadly considered to be a religious institution, right? Anyway, as we were saying,
I'm not an authority on religious practices, but we know that it isn't possible anyway to talk someone out of their sexual orientation. Exactly. It's not possible, and it's cruel and disgusting to try. I'm very clear on that. We are very clear on that. We totally oppose it. Mm-hmm. We do not think that it's necessary to bring in new legislation to ban it, because legislation exists. It doesn't happen in clinical contexts, and in religious contexts, if there is any, or family contexts, if there is any abusive situation, laws already exist to prohibit that.
Looks like she's really trying to dance around any kind of actual justification in favor of outright banning conversion therapy, and you know the reason why, right? Try to put together in your head why she might actually be opposed to a ban on conversion therapy.
So as far as sexual orientation is concerned, we do not think that a ban on...
As far as sexual orientation is concerned,
conversion therapy is needed now at this point in time in the UK.
It's not needed, okay, but it could still help a lot of people who are subjected to conversion therapy practices.
But what has happened is that those who are advocating a ban on conversion therapy have added to sexual orientation or gender identity. Now, that is a completely separate issue. And then you drill
It is, so why do you care about it?
down and see what is it that the people who are advocating a ban on gender identity conversion therapy as opposed to sexual orientation, which we've dealt with, what do they want exactly? And the best place to
Here comes the hypothesis from the gender understanders.
look for that is the laws that have been passed in Australia, which MPs in the UK Parliament have recommended as good models for what we need in the UK. And you look in Victoria and you see that if a girl comes to a gender clinic,
So a boy. Just going to say right now, so a boy or a non-binary person.
girl age 14, 15, and she says she's a boy, she's very sure she's a boy, she's not questioning, but she's absolutely sure she's a boy, then the only way...
Honestly, like, the misgendering of this hypothetical trans boy is pissing me off.
to deal with that is to affirm that and to put her on puberty blockers, which inevitably leads to a path towards cross-sex hormones and the rest of it.
Okay, I was just waiting for the moment where the talk of puberty blockers, well, and she might not be done, she might get to this point, but it might lead to genital mutilation and the amputation of healthy breast tissue. Just wait for it. Okay, just...
If you don't do that, if you do not affirm, then you are accused of conversion therapy, and there's up to 10 years in prison for that.
So I don't think that's exactly what's going on. Like, if you don't affirm someone's gender, that's not necessarily conversion therapy. Conversion therapy is when you actually try to convert someone away from their gender identity or what have you. If you simply do not provide treatment, I think there's a different set of circumstances there. So done with TERFs at this point, not even going to try to argue or appeal to empathy or reason anymore, just fuck off. I agree, I wish they just would. There's an article that came out recently that claimed that trans rights activists were slowly receding. Slowly, like, we're weaning off because they got Kathleen Stock cancelled. Here's the thing, Kathleen Stock actually quit the university she was working at. She resigned using the cancel culture narrative to try to make it look as though TRAs had forced her out of her position, which simply didn't happen. She quit of her own volition. Hello, George. How you going? Excuse me. Wasn't the talking point just a short while ago that people on puberty blockers have a high desistance rate? She's going to talk about detransitioners in a moment. Just watch. So old woman needs to shut up and go back to school. Now going forward with HRT is inevitable. Yeah, I know, right? I do not understand how puberty blockers work in the genitals of others is very scary.
So that is what they want to enforce. And in fact, it's very interesting.
It's categorically scientifically proven across the board. Let's just get this out of the way right now, because she's missing the point on all fronts, and it seems like she's stumbling through every single point using very flimsy justifications that even she is struggling to comprehend as having any sort of legitimacy. It's like when you watch Ben Shapiro and you see the gears turning in his head as he's trying to misgender Elliot Page, for example. You can see, like any sort of reactionary commentator, you watch them talk about any particular trans person and they actively try to misgender them. They go out of their way to say their dead name. They go out of their way to say the wrong pronouns. They think about it. I'm getting the same vibe from this person. Anyway, we're going to get into detransitioners in just a second. This is going to continue. It is pathetic. It's honestly like they're looking for any kind of flimsy justification because, Steven Tyler over here has a problem with trans girls, trans boys, trans anyone.
I recently spoke to a GP in the UK who spoke to me confidentially about the increasing...
I spoke to a GP in the UK confidentially. How convenient!
...number of girls that he's seeing at his surgery who say that they're boys. And he was worried about this and contacted the GMC, and they said, well, I mean, if they're boys, then you must make sure that you must affirm that. And you...
Oh, the point that I was going to make. I got completely distracted. We have scientifically proven categorically across the board that transition is the best method for treating gender dysphoria. So if you have a child come to you 100% certain that they are the opposite gender or that they are non-binary or anything like that, transition is proven scientifically, categorically, again, through and through, with all the modern science we have available to us, to be the number one treatment, okay, for anyone who's suffering gender dysphoria. It is proven, demonstrably. Anyway.
You must send them to the gender clinic, because if you don't do that, you are imposing your own ideology, which is... Now, this is upside down, isn't it? What are we talking about here? These are girls who say they're boys.
So they're boys.
And the only way to deal with them is to affirm. If that becomes law, and it's...
Because that's the science. That's literally what the science says. They go on about the science all the live long day. You're actually a biological man. You're actually a biological woman. But, you know, if you're going to use the science, then we too can use the science. And the science says transition is the best method.
Already apparently practice, but if it becomes law, then...
Isn't it funny how when you look up D-trans and you see all these stories, it's like the same 10 people. Oh, sorry, Shay, I'll get back to your thing in a second. Also, O'Neill's not really saying it. It's just Bev Jackson talking at this point. O'Neill has such good takes as if a person was sexually abused by a powerful person, they shouldn't come forward. Combating racism in sport is an anti-working class conspiracy from rich people? What? Environmentalism is an anti-working class war. The black people fighting racism are colonizers, and that LGBTQIA plus acceptance in society is queer imperialism, an anti-working class where he wrote extensively about out lesbian and gay people. Good lord. This guy sounds like a piece of work.
Anybody...
Not this person, by the way, just so we're clear.
A psychotherapist who tries to...
this person's a piece of work, but Shay's referring to Brendan O'Neill.
Explore with a girl why she is so sure she's a boy.
Let's come back a bit.
Girls who say they're boys, and the only way to deal with them is to affirm. If that becomes law, and it's already apparently practice, but if it becomes law, then anybody, a psychotherapist who tries to explore with a girl why she is so sure she's a boy, what other factors there may be. We know that autism spectrum is an important factor up to...
Oh, God, the fucking conflation of transness and autism, for goodness sake. There was a very flimsy link made between people having autism and people being trans, which is nonsensical. There's very little to base that off of. And it's just like, it's a correlation thing. It's not like a causation. Like, they're acting as though people being trans and having autism means that the autism must have caused the transness, and thus, as a result, what they're basically saying, and yeah, fuck off, you ableist fucker, I entirely agree. What they're essentially boiling it down to is that it's an autistic delusion of kids that cannot comprehend the real world kind of deal. That's what they're saying, basically.
30%. We know that there are often difficult, complex family circumstances, and we know above all that there's often homophobia, either in the family or in the circle. And
my entire family, I'm going to say, like, as a trans woman, has never expressed, maybe like one family member has jokingly expressed homophobia. Like, if I was just to remain a cis boy and come out as a gay man instead, they would have been completely on board. I'm just throwing that out there right now. Like, this is completely nonsensical anecdotes that they're going with. They're just honestly making shit up as they're going along. Pronouns? If you type !" pronouns in chat, actually, there is an extension we use on Firefox and Chrome, which should work if you're on PC. My pronouns are she, her. Anyway.
Certainly online influences play a huge role. So
the online influences thing always irritates the fuck out of me, because what the internet, especially the broader, more expansive internet of today, with the advent of social media and the ease of being able to find communities that relate to your particular interests and your particular personality, has allowed a lot of people to seek out spaces like this, which are queer accepting, for example, and actually come to terms with feelings they've never really understood and had the words for until they've reached those spaces. So yeah, fucking trans rights, absolutely. And they're trying to demonize those online spaces where people are like, with social media corrupting the children these days. No, social media has allowed people to come to terms with themselves, people to realize things about themselves and actually understand them.
What we're seeing here is this so-called ban on conversion therapy for gender identity is the opposite. It's trying to impose conversion therapy on teenagers, most of whom would grow up LGB if not medicalized.
Bullshit. I'm sorry, I just have to... I've been waiting for the moment to actually call that out. She mentioned this earlier. The assertion that a trans person has to be LGB. You know, there is such a thing as heterosexual trans people. For example, let's just say someone assigned female at birth transitions to a man and is interested only in dating women. That is a heterosexual trans man, right? That is a straight man. There's no difference there between... Well, aside from certain factors, there's no difference there between that man and any other man who's interested exclusively in women, right? They have this assumption that if you are transitioning, it must be to turn yourself straight, right? But the thing is, I, as a woman, am pretty much exclusively attracted to women. Hi. I've got one, actually. She's chained in my living room. Anyway, it's like it's a ludicrous assumption that makes that honestly exists only to categorize people by a strict let me think for a second, like a strict pigeonhole. You know, your sexuality can only be rigidly this, that, or the other, right? And that's what she's saying here, is like she's assuming every trans man must be a repressed lesbian, right? And this is the only time they're ever actually concerned for the well-being of trans people, and they're not even concerned with the well-being of trans people. GCs and TERFs, I don't know what to call them these days, dinosaurs, fucking whatever. The only time they're ever actually concerned with trans people is when it's trans men that they are perceiving and labeling as stolen lesbians, right? Continuing on.
And that's why, so we must separate them. You cannot deal with gender identity and sexual orientation together, or you get into a huge mess. And that is our message. But as you can see...
But this is the thing, right? If someone feels that they're gay, they're going to tell people that they're gay. If someone feels that they are trans, they're going to tell people that they are trans, if they feel comfortable to do so, of course. These are two distinctly different issues. There is not, like, this is the thing, the weird assertion, like, if a girl, quote unquote, goes to a GP or whatever and says, I feel like a boy 100%, they're not going to the doctor and saying, I'm a lesbian. They're saying, I'm a boy. There is a significant distinction there, you know?
It's very complex. Anybody who's not familiar with this material will probably have to listen to that explanation 4 times to understand what I just said.
No, that was...
Hang on, go back. I want to know what exactly she's going on about. Your dad literally said he wouldn't want me to have only trans friends because he believes it's social contagion and he believes in rapid onset gender dysphoria. Fuck. Points to my gay trans man friend. Yeah, exactly. There are some trans people who literally become gay after transitioning.
Therapy on teenagers, most of whom would grow up LGB if not medicalized. And that's why, so we must separate them. You cannot deal with gender identity and sexual orientation together, or you get into a huge mess. And that is our message. But as you can see, it's very complex. Anybody who's not familiar with this material will probably have to listen to that explanation 4 times to understand what I just said.
It's really not that complex, though. I feel like most people, if you explain it to them in layman's terms, are going to understand the scenario of what's going on.
No, that was very clear indeed. And I think that's a really important argument to have in the public arena.
It's really not, though. It's just an excuse to exclude trans people from social discourse by marking them as L's, G's, or B's. And then, without their consent, by the way, just pointing the finger at the T's and saying, actually, you're not who you say you are.
Given the growing numbers of young people, especially young girls, who are going through life-changing treatment, the consequences of which are not entirely understood. We know that there is a strong element of regret in some of these cases, and
there's not a strong element of regret. The vast majority of people who detransition, the vast majority of people who detransition, once they find themselves in more accepting environments, retransition. Like something like 2/3 of detransition is retransition. It's a bullshit argument. oh, there's a big symptom, there's a big serious problem with regret. No, there's fucking not. The people who, most of the time, and don't get me wrong, there are legitimate detransitioners out there who realize that transition wasn't for them, and fortunately are in accepting circumstances and go through a process of detransition among a supportive group of friends and family, which is fantastic. But it's a lot of the stories I've read about detransition stems from social what's the opposite of acceptance? Like non-acceptance, social exclusion, social something or other. Not oppression, that's a bit of a heavy word for it. But basically, the people around them are just like, no, you're not actually what you think you are. You're not actually what you say you are. And we're going to just hate you until you change back. And that's the problem. The regret comes from the social circles.
We know that there are family tensions and difficulties when a child transforms quite radically over a period of time.
You mentioned regret. Can I just point out that one of a lot of false statistics are bandied about. There's false suicide statistics and there's false statistics on detransitioners. They say, oh, you'll often hear 1%, it's less than 1% have regret. Well, we have no idea, actually.
Then why are you using it as an argument all the time? We actually have no idea. Okay, then stop saying it, maybe. Stop using individual anecdotes to try to destroy an entire queer minority, maybe.
1% comes from an ancient and greatly discredited survey of a very small number of adults. It's got nothing to do with our...
Oh, a greatly small number of adults. That seems kind of relevant to something we talked about on Thursday, maybe?
Present cohort of teenage girls.
Previous YouTube video?
Girls. So we don't know how many because nobody is researching it because research is also clamped down on it, it's suppressed. But we know that a lot of young women in their 20s are coming forward, like Kira Bell, who had a gender treatment when they were young.
Kira Bell, like the one person they keep bringing up, by the way. The one detransitioner they keep bringing up. Like they're trying to base their entire argument against trans people on trying to suggest that transition is conversion therapy on one fucking person.
And who are really angry now that the medical profession didn't give them proper care that they deserve.
Ludicrous. Fucking ludicrous. Anyway, there's that. So there's that whole thing. I hope you had fun. I didn't. I've got a bad taste in my mouth now, and I'd like some water, actually. Suppressed how? Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you browse r/actual detrans, and yeah, there are some that are just like, I want to have kids with my wife and have a conventional family, which is totally fine. Like, if that's more important to them than whatever else is going on, then more power to them. I don't begrudge them that. Hello, Vamps. How you going? A child transforming radically over a period of time sounds like puberty. It do, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Anyway. Yeah, banishment's a bit too strong of a word. Won't someone please think of the little girls, support our bigotry, and don't look into the details, pretty much. Break time? Yes, there might be a way to put a good taste back in my mouth. With some licorice. We've got licorice. Maybe I'll grab a whiskey, too, while I'm up. Anyway. That's that. Why does this keep going back to my fucking kilometers? I've walked like 8Ks today, apparently. Anyway, thank you for tuning into that segment. We'll be back in just a moment. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hang out with us here at twitch.tv/AbigailBeck. I'll see you over here. That was cheesy. That was fucking cheesy. Alright, be right back, folks. I'm gonna go get a drink and kiss my girlfriend because she's hot. And yours isn't. I'm just kidding. I'm sure your partners are very attractive.
Hi.
Just not as attractive as mine. GF says hello moment. Oh, I didn't turn the volume up on the music. Okay, so I don't need to turn it down again. Here she is, drinking.
Hi.
She do be having a drink though.
Have fun, everyone.
Okay. Kill. Oh, I thought that said kills her. And I'm like, no. That says highs. I don't know how to say that. Ziwa. Yeah, Z. Anyway, the smudge is also here. Dronks. I'm a dronk, mate. I'm a bit of a dronk. Oh, fuck. Smudgy cat. Off you go. Fuck off. Gave him a pat and he tried to attack me, so you can go kill him. Go kill a cockroach. Go on. Go be useful. What'd I get? Devil's Cut. Jim Beam Devil's Cut with Coke. Coke, no sugar. Yeah, Vesta's still... I don't know if you can... You can't see her. I could... Hang on. Let me try something. Content warning, spider. Can you... No, you can't really see her. You sort of can. There we go. See on the side of the glass case there? You can see Vest. That's my spider. That's my tarantula. I don't know why she's hanging out on the side of the case. So freely at the moment. She doesn't do that. She never does that. It's weird. Let's see if I can... Yeah, you can sort of get a glimpse of her there. Yeah, I gotta go buy some crickets, because she's probably hungry. But, you know, she never does that. Never ever does that. Jumping spiders are better than tarantulas. They're cute, I will say. I've got a Lucas the jumping spider sitting over there on my bed. He's cute. Anyways, shall we continue on? This is still not right. I want this to be a little bit more angled down because I want you to see more of my tits. Anyway, because, you know, that's how you get views on Twitch. You got to make sure your tits are in the shot. If your tits aren't in the shot, you're not going to get viewers on this platform. I'm sorry. It's the truth. And, you know... I legitimately just want money. I just want loads and loads of money. So I think the best option I have is to sexualize myself as much as humanly possible so that more people simp for me. Cause yeah, like it's not that much to get us up. I need the soundbite. I need to pester her for the soundbite. It is only $5 dues per month. The sad truth is... You want to know what the sad truth is about Twitch? The majority of people watching this platform, the majority of people who are cheering and subbing to streamers on this platform, you know who they are? They're people who watch mediocre gaming streamers. You want to succeed at this shit? You have to be a mediocre gamer, right? And the problem with that is, you have to be a mediocre gamer who struck fucking gold somehow. Like, there's a lot of people at the top who just play the video games and that's it. Like, they just happen to get lucky. Or they happen to have connections with certain people who could give them a boost in terms of viewership. That's what it boils down to. Like, for example, who was it? Like, T-Pain? T-Pain streams on Twitch. He makes a killing on viewers, of course he does. And he seems like a cool guy. But, you know, he already had an established following. So, of course, he's going to get viewers. And that's generally the case with a lot of other people. Or it's one of two things. Either someone has an established following on social media elsewhere. So, like, you'll see people come over from YouTube or Instagram or even Twitter, for example, or TikTok or whatever. They build a following somewhere else, or they're already famous, and then they start streaming on Twitch. They already have a huge following. Of course they have a huge following, because they're just bringing their fans over to Twitch. And then the other option is right place, right time, right? Like, that's what happened with Ninja. He started streaming Fortnite. He was reasonably okay with PUBG. Then he started streaming Fortnite, made a killing, became incredibly popular, started making the right connections with the right people in the industry, which just made him even more popular. Then he fucked up and went to Mixer and then came back to Twitch. I don't know what Ninja's doing these days. I don't really care. Anyway, some use their right hand for Twitch. How's it going, Genghis? Yeah, you want to know how to make it on this platform? Luck and connections. Luck and massive tits. Like Liv Agar, for example, just reactivated a Twitter account because she was saying there's like no natural growth from Twitter stuff. Exactly. The only way you can actually get any significant following on this platform is if you grow elsewhere. There is discoverability. Don't get me wrong. When you already have existing viewers, you're going to be higher up in the category of whatever it is you're streaming. So I've got a fair few viewers at the moment, and if more people are seeing my stream, I'm higher up in the category. Generally speaking, more people are going to see my stream. So the big problem that a lot of people who really want to make it as a streamer have, and also my title still says NFTs are a giant scam. We're past that point. We're going to go to the rent. Rent is too damn high. Anyway, we'll talk about rent in a second. But you know, the majority of there's a few problems. I'm going to give some free streamer advice. Actually, let's change my title to that really quickly. Hang on. Free streamer advice. Let's see if this brings in viewers. Lol. Okay. So yeah, I said lol out loud. Get with the program. We're in the ultra e-girl age now. I am that terminally online that I say lamau unironically. I say poggers. I'm not even joking. I actually say poggers all the time. Twitch rich get richer. It's a perfect little microcosm of capitalism. It's who you know and what you know. Anyway, you may say I'm looking excellent, by the way, Minihood. Thank you kindly. Try to stream as much as you can. Don't do that. First major tip. I saw you say this. I want to say Genghis Khan because like I know that's how Mongolians say it, but anyway. Don't do that. First of all, do not stream as much as possible. I am streaming way more than I need to. And I'm only doing 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Which only equates to like... Pog. What is that? 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. 4 weeks a month. What is that? Fuck. 60 hours? Yeah, that sounds about right. 15. Yeah, 60 hours a month. 60 hours a month is too many hours that I should like. The path to partner requirement is 25 hours. You could stream 25 hours in a month, and if you could hit an average of 75 viewers or more consistently for those 25 hours, you would be eligible to hit Twitch partner. One of the major problems that a lot of people have when they start streaming, excuse me, is that they go out of their way to stream as much as humanly possible on the basis that if they're live longer, there's more of a chance of more people tuning in, which hypothetically, in theory, well, not in theory, in hypothesis, would make sense. The more you are live, the more visible you are, technically speaking. You're still there, you're still in the algorithm, you're still in the system. However, if you are streaming for 12 hours a day at 0 viewers, most people aren't going to be going looking for 0 viewer streams. You know, it's all about averages. It really is. So again, what you want to be doing is like making connections and streaming. You only want to be streaming as many hours as you need to hit those averages, like the 3 viewer average for affiliate. I think it's the same amount of hours streamed. No, actually, I think it's less. You have to stream, what is it, like 8 hours in a week? Maybe a week, or I can't remember. But the affiliate requirement is actually really small. But the problem is, of course, again, and wouldn't that also lead to crazy burnout? Well, generally speaking, yes. But one of the other major flaws that a lot of smaller streamers have. Hello, Ducking. How you going? One of the other major problems that a lot of smaller streamers, pre-affiliate streamers have, is they'll just stream to play a game and be live on the basis that maybe somebody will watch me. And sometimes maybe people will stream because they're looking for friends, and they might want someone to come in and say, "Hey, can I play with you?" And they might say, "Yeah." I've heard of people that do that. But there are people who legitimately want to grow, and the biggest issue they have is that they're streaming constantly. They're streaming far too many hours, like they're streaming their 8-hour gaming sessions almost daily, and they're doing it to no viewers. And the problem is, if you're streaming to no viewers, but you have, like, say, 2 viewers for an hour, then what's going to happen is, like, the other 7 hours of that 8-hour period are going to factor into your average. So you're going to have 2 viewers for 1 hour, but the rest of that 7 hours is going to be 0. Your average is going to be much closer to 0, which is not what you want. You don't want that kind of thing. You want to have a much smaller window, and honestly, having a smaller window where you are scheduled to be online is going to help keep your viewers, the viewers that you do get, it's going to keep them motivated to tune back in. Because like in ye olden days, when we used to watch the television, and at 7 p.m. Channel 10 would play Seinfeld, you'd be sitting down in your lounge room with dinner or whatever, ready to watch an episode of Seinfeld, back when things were in black and white and we rode dinosaurs to school. I'm not that old, fuck. Anyway, the point is, if you're live at a certain time every single day, the same days, so I'm live from 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, that took me a second to put that together. If you're live from Australian Eastern, if you're live from the same time every day, on specific days, people are going to become adjusted to your schedule. Now, of course, you don't want to push yourself to stick to a schedule if your existing schedule of like work, study, family life, etc. is pretty all over the place as it stands. Generally speaking, I would say stream when you can, but don't overstream. Used to get saddle sore. Attila, hello. I am a beautiful lady. How you doing? Hardest part for me was getting the 7 different days. True. I haven't looked at the affiliate requirements in a while. What are they? Hang on. Can I go back and look at my achievements? I think. Pardon? Oh, Necro. Oh, yeah, thank you, Necro. I'm an idiot. 50 followers, 8 total hours, 7 different days, 3 average viewers. Okay, so. Which would be tricky, but generally speaking, you could stream just over an hour on those 7 different days, or you could stream 2 hours for 4 days, I think. But I think you still have. I think the best bet would probably be like, if you stream for that 8 total hours. So if you stream a little over an hour, let's just say you do an hour and a half on each of those 7 days. That's not very long. It's not a huge chunk out of your day. I just lost my hair tie that I was playing with. You know. And you manage to get, just like, this is the thing. You could literally just hang out with your friends in chat if you've got them. I hope you have friends. It's kind of sad when people just have no one in their life. If I'm honest, I don't like seeing that kind of thing. I don't like seeing lonely people. But this is the thing. Like I started making connections on Twitter. I met people like Jasmine, Ranting Trans, who I now consider at least like I wouldn't consider Jasmine a friend, but at the very least we have a friendly rapport, you know, is kind of what you want to look for when you're networking on Twitch. Friends, what is that? Like the show? Yes, the show. It's you know how we were talking about how fiction is wildly unrealistic. Yeah, Friends is wildly unrealistic on the basis of friends existing. Anyway, so what you want to do? Like, yeah, you could stream like probably an hour and 10 minutes. An hour and like you could go an hour and a half if you wanted to, but you know, for that week that you want to get affiliate, there's my cat in the background. Do an hour and a half for those 7 days. And even then, I don't think it needs to be exactly 7 days, doesn't it? It just needs to be 7 days across a month. Yeah, 7 days across a month. So you could stream a couple of days a week for a month. For like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Have your friends or family or even just your phone watching you. And your average viewership would go up dramatically. As opposed to if you were streaming like 16 hours at a time. Which I've seen, by the way. I have seen people legitimately... Why is he doing that? Anyway, I've seen people doing that. I've seen people going ludicrous hours. I've literally clicked on pre-affiliate streamers links before. And I've gone and I've seen them live for 8.5 hours. And they're sitting at 1 viewer. And I'm like, you want to know why you're not affiliate yet? It's because you're still going. Take a break. Go exercise. Go eat some lunch. Go for a walk around the neighborhood. Punch a cat. I don't know. You can only have like 3 friends at a time. Everything more is too stressful. I agree. You know, I generally speaking keep my close friend circle very small. Oh, she fixed the cube. Can we get some claps in chat for? Hang on. There we go. Clap for Zerator. Marathon streams are a thing you can do if you already have the audience, and even then it should be an event. Yes, exactly. I completely agree. It's a butterfly knife trainer. It's a, what's it called? A Balisong trainer. Do I know a YouTube channel powered by rainbows? It's a great channel. No, I do not. I feel like maybe I've heard of it though. Anyway, yeah, but like I personally, like I would like to do a subathon one day. But yeah, it would need to be one of those things where I would like prepare for it and have it set. I could probably do it for like. Let me have a look really quick. Let me look at something. Let me go through my bookmarks really quickly. It's here somewhere. I need to clear out my Twitter bookmarks. Fuck. Okay. So in 19 days, I could do a subathon. I think. Because 19 days is a Saturday night. Fuck, I wouldn't be able to do it then. Because I have my kids on Saturday nights. But anyway, that would be my anniversary of starting Estradiol on November 20th. Oh, you won't be here. You could come early if you want. And I could do a little celebration stream. I could do a little, what's it called? Like a Traniversary kind of deal. Traniversary subathon stream. I could do it on the Monday. A couple of days behind isn't going to matter that much. In the same way, like if it was my birthday or whatever. You know. Could always do that kind of a subathon thing, which would be neat. I'd probably start earlier, finish later. My eyeliner looks good. Thank you, kindly. I've got a new liner pen. Finally bought a new liner pen by Models Prefer. It's pretty good. It's angled liner. I only ever use angled liner. Okay, I exclusively use angled pen. You were looking for a while, so you finally decided to say hi. Socialized mail was great. Oh, thank you, Molly. Looking exceptionally gorgeous today. Thank you, kindly. I'm glad you liked the video. That's my favorite one that I've done so far. Like sports was my favorite before. Socialized mail is my favorite now of the ones that I've done. Sports, socialized mail. I'm still pretty fond of cancelled, even though cancelled needs, like, looking back, cancelled probably needs a bit of work. It might need to revisit. But the next one I want to do is based on body horror and dysmorphia and dysphoria. Like all different things around the body and how they relate to transness and body image. I want to do that video next, which it was supposed to be my Halloween video, but I couldn't put the ideas into practice. Meanwhile, you hear stabbing your eye with brushes every time you try doing liner. Yep. Wait till you get to tight lining. That's fun. You want to know what tight lining is? Do I have a flat brush? Hang on. I'm not going to do it now. Okay, so I've got a flat bristle brush, right? Well, it's an angle brush, but tight lining, right, is when you've got your eyeliner on, and to make it really blend properly and not have like that weird like skin colored line, I guess, under it, you want to like pull your eyelid up and do like mascara or eyeliner in like underneath here. I would not generally advise it. It's pain. As a new Twitch stream, would you recommend going into just chatting or politics? I feel like politics, like the category, is specifically for people who are only talking about politics. I don't only talk about politics, so I avoid going into the category. I've got a few not co-streamers. I've got a few fellow streamers who I sort of, swap raids with, and we talk here and there, who who come from the politics category, but they are quite specifically political streamers. I mainly do news and social discourse, current events, all that kind of stuff. We did cover the Wiggles recently, which was a thing. Also, Emma Wiggle is quitting. For anyone, the current yellow Wiggle has left. Avoid the skin colored line by going hard with the mascara. Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah, so Emma Wiggle is quitting, and she's being replaced with a new, much younger Wiggle. Very, very young Wiggle. Anyway, that's not really relevant to anything. I still miss Greg Wiggle, the original yellow Wiggle, but... Pardon? Yeah, Greg. We like Greg. Wonder what he's up to these days. He had, like, cancer or something, and he had to leave because Yeah, I forgot about that. The original yellow Wiggle collapsed on stage and eventually had to quit, and they restructured the Wiggles as a result. And Emma's the redhead girl. You're looking into why India has a lot of high defects. It's very complex. Well, it's a very high population too, and there's a very high disparity of like wealth inequality and things of that nature, which would definitely factor into medical issues. Might also be a result of like significant pollution and probably what would it be like? Like the food, like we've heard bits and pieces about the fact that there are microplastics in a lot of the foods and drinks we consume, and I dare say there'd be similar problems over there as well. Maybe to a greater scale. Maybe like the food that they eat is not necessarily as healthy as it should be, on the basis of there being things in the food that are kind of hard to avoid. Seems so kind. Thank you, Ducking. Actually, we did watch that video by Folding Ideas about the chicken nuggets, didn't we? Did we? We didn't watch the chicken nuggets video, did we? No, I don't think we did. Do we want to watch the chicken nuggets video? I want to watch the chicken nuggets video. Do we want to do that? Hang on. I feel like this is a good video that we should watch, which is just like since, you know, we're on that subject, sort of. Chicken nuggets video? It's a good video, trust me, it's really good. Really informative. And honestly, fucking smackdown on Jamie Oliver and his bullshit. I hate that guy. I think Greg right now is helping inform people more about heart health and CPR training to be more normalized. Fuck yeah! I love it. Has Dan released it? I think he has, yeah. I watched it, so yeah. Folding Ideas. Minecraft sandboxes and whatever it was, radicalization, I can't remember. But there's a video by Folding Ideas. I didn't realize Dan has a face. I now realize that Dan Olsen has a face. John Oliver. Jamie Oliver, not John Oliver. Jamie Oliver. Colonialization, that was it, yeah. That was a really fucking good video. I love that Minecraft video. Dano. Once watched a family vlog where the kids dressed up as the Wiggles and the redhead kid dressed up as Emma, and the comments were big angry because the kid is a boy. Oh my god, can they fuck off? Jesus Christ, please worry about something else, anything else. Everyone at school hated Jamie Oliver for taking away our turkey twizzlers. Yeah, exactly. And that's what this video is going to get into. It's like, Jamie Oliver, when he was more relevant, I don't know what he's up to these days, honestly. I think he's still around. But he had a big slant against like all the unhealthy foods. And to summarize one of the major points of this video that we're going to watch, did I say John Oliver? Anyway, I might have. I don't mind John Oliver. I don't know much about him. Anyway, yeah, like one of the major things when Jamie Oliver was much more relevant was his absolute crusade against shit like chicken nuggets. And it's honestly just this ridiculous, like, the video is going to point out just how classist all of that shit was. Because he's trying to say, this is really bad food. This is actually, they're making this food out of the worst parts of the chicken and it's really bad and awful. And he's essentially saying, you know, the best cuts of the chicken are the one you want to be eating, actually, kids. I don't care if you're a poor. You know, going to make you eat the healthy food that your family can't afford. I am those families. For some reason he thought John was short for James. The Nuggies are making the frogs trans. Seen a couple of websites pan the fuck out of Jamie Oliver's restaurants here. Oh, really? Turning the freaking frogs gay. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch this. This is good.
So I'm going to tell you a little story about how you can use all the leftover bits to make food. And watch me.
Oh, he's chopping up the other bits, and he's mincing
Meat
them.
And bone. Now, who would still eat this?
I would. Let's fucking go, mate. Give me the salmonella. I want it.
Jamie Oliver has an interesting relationship with chicken nuggets, and it's...
Okay, so first and foremost, he has a face. I just need to point out he has a face.
Something I find deeply fascinating because it's this weird convergence of both an extremely political rhetoric and...
Ooh, Zoe B has a good video on the classism in healthy food talk. Link it. I'll fucking bring it up and we'll watch it after this. Yeah. As long as it's not too long.
Man's personal pride. It's a conflict that has led the man to take on chicken nuggets in some form in every show he's made, to flex over them and display superiority, right down to basically lying, like in the 2011 miniseries Jamie's Dream School, where he promises a room full of troubled teens that he can teach them to make nuggets better, cheaper, and faster than frozen nuggets.
and this is £1.90. It's 10 pence cheaper.
With that foreshadowing, is he not always going to have a face? The only videos I've seen of folding ideas before this were voiceover videos. Oh, the Zoe B vids are pretty long. Okay, I'll look into it later. That sounds good, though. I love that kind of shit.
I'm going to do it in half the amount of time, and this is... Do you think this is better for you, or that? No.
All the way back in 2005, on the show Jamie's School Dinners, Jamie demonstrated the contents and...
Jamie Oliver's face gone. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slice his face off, put it in that food processor, and then feed it to him as nuggets. I'm not actually going to do that. I've been watching Hannibal, okay? Just like... Look, the body horror video is coming along nicely. Anyway...
Production of chicken nuggets for a group of children.
Take his face. Who's seen Face Off?
Which is, as with a lot of food, kind of gross.
These are the kids that won't eat my chicken. You know, these are the kids that want their nuggets back. So I want to show them what's in their fucking nuggets. Then what they do...
Oh my god, I didn't know he swears. I didn't realize he was like... What?
...is they add more chicken skin.
So fucking what?
That...
No, kill him. Slice the face.
...is how that part is made.
Does Jamie swap faces with Gordon Ramsay? We're not going to get through this.
At the end, he asks if any of the kids still want nuggets, and all of them decline.
Anyone want of these?
No.
In 2010, on the show Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, the production recreated the scenario with kids from Huntington, West Virginia, but this time when Jamie asks if they still want the nuggets after learning how they're made, all the kids say yes.
Now, who would still eat this?
Based kids. Fucking hog.
They all want those nugs.
He gets so upset.
And who can blame them? Chicken nuggets are delicious.
Agreed.
This bit is one of those clips that's in a sort of perpetual virality. Every few months it makes the rounds again with a new caption, new commentary, and new conclusion for the audience to draw, and it's one that fascinates me because Jamie's argument against chicken nuggets is just so comically bad.
He's getting pressed by literal children.
There's a lot of possible arguments against chicken nuggets, a lot of reasons you can consider chicken nuggets to be bad, and Jamie is making none of them. For example, you can argue that chicken nuggets are a product of a corrupt industry that is often deeply inhumane towards the animals that pass through it, making it immoral to enjoy the products of that inhumanity. Or you can argue that eating meat is intrinsically immoral, that we have, for the most part, moved past the need to get sustenance at the expense of animals. You can argue that the meat industry is exploitative of its workers at the mundane end, merely engaging in aggressive anti-union practices and predatory hiring of migrant workers who can then be threatened with punitive use of the immigration system, and at the extreme end, buying slaves from Christian drug rehab programs. But Jamie's argument against chicken nuggets is that they're bad because they're made from the bad parts of the bird, arguing that there are the good, clean parts of the chicken that are appropriate to eat, and the rest of the bird, which is garbage. Take this bit, for example, which uses the grammar of television to suggest that even the kids see this plainly obvious fact.
Now, chicken wings are worth quite a lot of money. I showed them.
That means nothing to children. Chicken wings are worth quite a lot of money. Who gives a shit? They're 8. You think they think they care about the worth of
where all the nice
the fucking chicken
came
wings
off the chicken. So we just pop the legs off, and then you're left with a carcass with all the ribs and the little bits of giblets and blood and skin and stuff like that. What do you think happens to this?
They get thrown away.
He'll have people sniff store-bought chicken nuggets and ask weird leading questions.
Quite a lot of money is several bars of chocolate to kids. Yeah, you give a kid $100 for Christmas and they look like they won the fucking lottery.
Questions like, doesn't this smell dirty? But then no one ever responds because it probably just smells like a chicken nugget.
Now smell your nugget and then smell the other one. Your one should sort of smell quite clean.
That smells fresh.
And then the other one smells a bit dirty.
Jamie.
What does that... I mean, and this is a weird thing to say, but just like the use of... This smells a bit clean. This smells a bit dirty. What the fuck is that language? I don't... Anyway, I'm going to have to do this experiment myself. Dirty smelling nuggets. It leans in a certain direction that I really don't like. Germany has some freaky ass sausages. When I was still eating meat, I liked Leberwurst, pureed pig intestines, mostly liver, but also other undesirable leftover stuff, and Lungwurst, mostly pig lung. Always thought it was a good idea to use all parts of the pig instead of just cutting off the fillet and tossing 75%. Yeah, well, exactly. Like, if you are going to kill an animal, you might as well use all of it. I mean, we shouldn't be killing animals. Honor every part, exactly.
He makes a lot of hay about...
You can clearly hear one kid saying, mine smells fine.
Mechanically reclaimed meat, and indeed, the entire thrust of his scare presentation with these kids revolves around the fact that the middle parts of the process, where they take the bad...
They definitely told that kid to have a disgusted face for that shot.
Add dirty parts of the bird and process it into food are kind of gross looking.
Gonna go give my chicken nugs a bubble bath.
The process involves taking the parts of the carcass that aren't prime cuts of meat, parts that still have a lot of good muscle tissue attached, a lot of connective tissue and gristle, which aren't very tasty but contain collagen and elastin, which breaks down into useful amino acids. Leftover skin removed from cuts that are sold.
Just give me a spoon. I'll eat that shit right up. Let's fucking go.
Skinless organ.
We should have nuggets. Hell yeah, we should have nuggets. Fuck yeah.
And bone marrow, grinding that into a paste, straining out larger solids, then using the resulting meat goo as an ingredient in food like chicken nuggets. And you know what? I will concede this fact. The stuff looks gross. I would not pipe...
It just looks like big strawberry yogurt. Just give me the spoon. I want to eat the big strawberry yogurt.
Tepid meat goo into my mouth. This does not make me hungry.
Yes.
But so
give me
what?
The meat goo.
Lots of food looks gross when it's raw or partially cooked. We literally have a popular phrase about the making of sausage for this exact reason. If your requirement is that food look delicious and appealing at all stages of preparation, then I'm sorry, that's really a you problem. So like I said, there's a lot of reasons to criticize the food industry, the meat industry above all. But what you can't...
Remember that? Yes, I do, Phage. Fuck the tubby custard post. Can you please link it? Do you have it, Phage? Let me find it. Hang on. Fuck, hang on. This is fucking incredible, honestly. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me bring this up. This is it. Okay. Say hello to mechanically separated chicken. It's what all fast food chicken is made from. Things like chicken nuggets and patties. Also the processed frozen chicken in the stores is made from it. Basically, the entire chicken is smashed and pressed through a sieve, bones, eyes, guts, all it comes out looking like this. There's more. Because it's crawling with bacteria, it will be washed with ammonia soaked in it, actually. Then, because it tastes gross, it will be reflavored artificially. Then, because it is weirdly pink, it will be dyed with artificial color. But hey, at least it tastes good, right? High five, America. Oh my god, bitch, that's the tubby custard machine. Oh, fuck, this is a classic. This is an absolute banger. Oh, goodness. I will never get tired of that one. That's fucking amazing.
Can't really argue about the meat industry, and chicken nuggets in specific, is that they're wasteful. And this is something of a complexity of the issue. They definitely use all of the bird. Now, make no mistake, this...
It was riffing on another picture that was probably like insulation foam or something. Again!
Frugality is in no way motivated by an ideological aversion to waste, but rather stems from maximizing the return on their product. Literally anything left over at the end of the process, they're going to try to find someone to sell it to. Mineral solids contain keratin and calcium, so dry it out, grind it up, and mix it with fertilizer. Organ proteins are used in pet food. Various soft proteins, fats, hair, hide, feathers, and other byproducts can be rendered into glycerin, gelatin, oils, lubricants, and pastes, which are used in food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and industrial applications. It is notoriously difficult to go truly 100% vegan because products often contain other products that are themselves made in part with animal products, which is complicated because if you're going to accept that it's okay to eat animals and use animal products, which at the moment is the mainstream opinion in our society, then clearly if you're going to use the bird at all, you should use the whole bird. Mm-hmm. Now, while pink goo isn't the apocalyptic nutrient void that Jamie Oliver wants to paint it as, it is undeniably the lower quality stuff. I don't want to mislead you into thinking that frozen nuggets are something that they aren't. They're not great, but you already knew that. But like, it's not sawdust. It's still food. After taking the prime cuts off a bird, there's a lot of second-rate but usable nutrients left on and in the bones. This is why it was customary in...
Where do you conjure up those burps? I did just finish a glass of whiskey and coke, so that'll... I can just do it on command, but it's also not good for your esophagus.
Ye olden days, that after you ate all the easy parts off a roast chicken, you'd boil the scraps and bones to pull out whatever was left and create chicken stock. At least that's what you do if you're too poor to just buy another chicken. If you can't afford to not extract every last calorie out of the bird you bought. Now, I don't want to suggest that Jamie Oliver is classist. I don't know the secrets that lay in the inner cloisters of his heart, but these arguments definitely are. Oliver isn't arguing against nuggets because of what they contain or because they tie into complicated questions of morality and the ethics of eating meat, or even entirely because of their actual nutritional value. More on that later, but because of what they represent, which is a low-class diet. This is the language being evoked, the implication that low-class people are dirty and thus cheap and dirty are synonymous.
There's bits on it that are worth lots of money. The breasts are the most expensive part. It's the biggest and it's the white meat, okay?
The other thing that I want to talk about briefly is the rhetorical function of this clip. Something fascinating about it is that from the point of view of the...
Yes, as my girlfriend has wonderfully pointed out, breasts are expensive. I still want to save for some, but he's talking about actual like physical breasts. So you know, hello Scroats, how's it going? Folding Ideas is fucking wonderful.
Production from the messaging viewpoint. There really isn't a wrong answer to Jamie's offer of nuggets, meaning that no matter what answer the kids give, I, as the conceptual author of the show, can use it. I can use the whole bird. If the kids reject the processed nuggets, they validate the assertion that nuggets aren't just low-quality, cheap food made from leftovers, but are dirty and inedible. If the kids still want the nuggets, even knowing that before being cooked they were a pink slime, then that validates Jamie's superiority, the assertion that America is doomed, that the kids are broken, that there is a spiritual epidemic. And that is exactly how it's employed in the actual episode.
I mean, what's scary is that we've brainwashed our kids so brilliantly, so even though they know something is disgusting and gross, they'll still eat it if it's in that friendly little shape.
It's a Balisong trainer, a fake butterfly knife, so I can't actually get a real one. But yeah, like this honestly, my mother has been, I'm just going to call my mom out right now. She has been so fucking brainwashed by Jamie Oliver's bullshit. To the point where she gives me advice on what I should feed my kids. And says, don't give them nuggets, don't give them this shit. And it's like, bitch, I'm poor. What am I supposed to do? They like nuggets. And nuggets are like $3 for a pack of them. Like, it's honestly, yeah, okay, mom, give us money, right? It's a ridiculous argument that just honestly punches down at people who can honestly not afford to do better. You know, they would like to do better. Don't get me wrong. Like a lot of poorer parents would love to give their kids the more healthy options. They would love to give their kids chicken breast every night with broccoli and fava beans and a nice Chianti, but they can't do that. I keep making that specific Silence of the Lambs reference, and I think my girlfriend's getting sick of it.
As a fascinating extension, the clip, as it makes its rounds through mimetic cycles, alternates how it's being employed based on what community it's passing through.
Same with fish fingers as well, by the way.
It is shared in equal measure by people laughing at Jamie Oliver getting dunked on by some kids who want them saucy nugs, and people who agree with
saucy nugs.
Jamie that this reflects a metaphysical illness in society, which is the source of the physical illness of obesity. Now, this argument is stupid, but it's also extremely popular. There is a pervasive belief in our society that poorness is a moral failing that the poor inflict on themselves, that the disastrous and growing class divides in the world are the result of a type of person who just loves chicken nuggets so much that they're not willing to stop being poor.
Good point, Jaeger. Honestly, I love me some fucking fish. I love salmon. I love tuna. Give me some of those fish fillets, whatever they're called. Give me the, what are they called? Fish... not cutlets, but like honestly, I did like fish fingers as a kid, and now I'm just like, hell yeah, give me some fish. Fillets, one of those. You're more into fish fingers even though you otherwise often dislike fish. Fish fingers bang hard, honestly.
Of course, that's all extremely wrong. The real answers are far more complex. School lunches suck because there's no money for quality ingredients. The staff are often poorly trained, if not unqualified, because there's no money for training or hiring qualified personnel. There's no money for hiring qualified personnel because of a belief that school lunch lady is a meaningless, trivial job where you slop food at children and not a position where you're expected to serve food to several hundred people in a mere 45 minutes. The logistics don't magically get easier just because the patrons aren't old enough to buy cigarettes. There's no money for quality food because there's no political will to allocate that money, and there's no political will because of all sorts of messed up priorities, including the belief.
I too I'm specifically craving tendies, but I too am craving nugs, not gonna lie.
That poorness is a self-inflicted problem. Why, that sounds like a vicious cycle, doesn't it? You could address this complexity, and in fairness, Jamie Oliver hasn't strictly ignored this, even as he's drafted lunch menus that would drain an entire year's budget in a month, but it's a lot easier to look at chicken nuggets as a thing that just happens to be in proximity to the problem and blame it for everything. Back to Jamie's dream school, Oliver promises that he can make nuggets cheaper, faster, and better than the store-bought nuggets, and it ends up exposing a lot of the charade.
And this is £1.90. It's 10 pence cheaper. I'm going to do it in half the amount of time. And this is, do you think this is better for you or that? No.
Now, to a degree, he's not strictly lying. If you have a very well laid out kitchen, all of the ingredients, a familiarity with the recipe, and confidence in your tools and technique, then measuring from the moment you start to when you start eating, you can probably make fried chicken strips faster than an oven can heat up a box of tenders.
I will say this. I have had the kind of tenders he's talking about where you make these yourself, and honestly, they are a treat. If you've got the right recipe, they're far better than the box bought stuff. I will say they're just a much nicer meal. And yeah, it'd take you about the same kind of prep time and all that kind of thing. But yeah, like most people are just going to buy a box of tenders, let's be honest with ourselves. Because it saves you the time. But, well, it doesn't save you the time, it saves you the energy and the effort. My look is slaying you, thank you. I'm glad you like my earrings. I don't wear these often enough. Same time, different amount of effort. Yeah, and like I think he goes into the point shortly where it's like, a lot of parents are probably exhausted at the end of the workday and what have you, and don't want to put in the effort to do this kind of thing. But yeah, one of these days soon, I'm going to have to cook these kind of chicken strips because they fucking slap. They're really good. I hope you folks are doing all right, by the way. Welcome in.
And the recipe he gives here, I mean, it's lightly seasoned fried chicken. Probably tastier than most nuggets as long as you make it right. And you know what? It might even cost you less by weight than the most expensive box of chicken in the grocery. More than twice as much as the cheap box, though. Just for the chicken breast, not including the other ingredients. Also, this isn't really that much healthier. It's still got plenty of salt. It's still fried in oil, but also healthy versus unhealthy is really a terrible way of conceptualizing food in the first place. This is actually a persistent problem with Oliver's version of healthy eating, which really isn't driven by actual nutritional value. He still uses a lot of sugar and salt, but is better conceptualized again as clean versus dirty. Things with lots of listed ingredients are bad, things with fewer ingredients are good, regardless of what those are.
Don't taste that good, though.
Talk out loud, out loud.
23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 40... 44!
Okay. How many ingredients in there, guys?
So he's not lying, but the whole exercise requires so many caveats and so much deck stacking that it is disingenuous. It's just an extension of the argument that poorness is the result of things like food choices, rather than food choices being largely dictated by being poor. I mean...
So do I, say in all the time. I love having a bit of crack with my steak and all that.
One, you're probably not buying the $16 box, you're buying the $7 box. And you're not coming home and heating up $2 worth of mechanically reclaimed chicken strips because everything else in your life is going great. The biggest hole in all of it, of course, is the issue of time. With the stacked deck, the linear time is about comparable, but what's not comparable at all is the actual...
Fucking based, boop. One of the things that always gets you is how Jamie Oliver's just all over the place with his bullshit. All celebrity chefs are exactly the same, honestly. If you don't have the implements to cook clean nuggies with, he's got all kinds of pots and pans and flavor shakers to sell you. It's always the same bullshit. It's always like, we can help you cook cleaner and cheaper and easier and all this kind of shit. And it's just like, the problem is not just the price. Okay, you can do it cheaper and you can do it healthier. There's so many other elements at play here. And it often relates to things like time, effort, energy, and other responsibilities going on in your life. Like, and what did he say before? Like, the kitchen space is a huge factor there and all that kind of thing. It's honestly coming from this enormous place of privilege of not knowing what those poorer kids and poorer families are dealing with, generally speaking.
Amount of work. I mean, it's so self-evident that I feel insane even pointing it out. Jamie's fried chicken bites are good, but you spend the entire time making fried chicken. Plus, it generates a huge amount of mess that you will then need to clean up. Food prep is extremely time and energy intensive, and it's maddening that so much of the hay about healthy eating relies on pretending that it's not. So the whole thing is an argument that displays such a fundamental lack of understanding about why people eat what they do, and it's a dangerous argument because, again, it's a popular argument, and it's popular with the kind of people who write and pass laws. Seemingly every day there's another proposal for a law to heavily tax unhealthy food or arbitrarily remove things like soda, french fries, and chicken nuggets from the already asinine list of things food assistance can and can't be spent on. Food is an almost unfathomably complex subject, and there are very real issues of public health and ecology tied up in it. People, broadly, eat what they have access to, and access is dictated by class, and class in our society is so very often dictated by race. It's about free time, stress, how far away you live from a grocery store, whether or not you live in a neighborhood where the freshest vegetable is the lettuce in a Big Mac.
Hang on, let me come back for a second. You hate that logic? Your mom tries to use it on you every time you buy a vegetarian schnitzel. Like, come on, I'm vegetarian, drink no alcohol, and lost 30 kilos in 2 years. I can eat a schnitzel with more than 2 ingredients. Yeah, it's a dumb argument. It's a non-argument. It's just entirely ridiculous. One of the neat things about your new job is that the office has a good lunch offering with a varied salad bar and soups and stuff that gets me much more varied than when I cook for myself. Yeah, which is good. That's a good thing you've got there. Gordon Ramsay, 5-star Michelin star chef, doesn't know how to make grilled cheese sandwiches. Lamau. When I did the Chinese exchange program, one striking difference is how we prepare our meals. We packed our Chinese students' lunch in like 5 minutes, and he was amazed it could be that fast. When I was in China, his mum cooked like every single meal, including breakfast, which is a huge time and energy expense, of course. Like, I like to prepare meals properly, but you can't deny the fact that it's, again, a huge time and energy expense. That if you had to do that for every single meal, you'd be exhausted and you wouldn't have the time to do anything else.
It connects to problems with jobs, wages, the physical design of our cities, the priorities of our politicians, and the incentives of our economic system. It's a big, intensely complex problem, which is why it's ultimately a lot easier to just be a stooge, to go on TV and blame the audience for having bad taste. Like, no, you're making the nuggets wrong. You're making dirty nuggets. stop making dirty nuggets.
You heard it here first, folks. Don't make dirty nuggets. Fucking hot dad up in this bitch. Not Dan Olsen.
Sucking on my tendons like you wanted me. Sucking on my tendons like you need the meat. Sucking on my tendons brings you big delight. Sucking on my tendons almost every night.
I love hot dad. Fucking great.
You're staring at my tendons hungrily. You want my tendons cause you love to eat and suck that meat. Put those tendons in your mouth and seal your lips. Chew and suck my chicken treats until they're gone. Swallow bliss.
Oh, Jesse Gender did another Dave Chappelle video. Heck yeah. I might have to check that one out. I like the last one. It's another hour-long video, though. Anyway, there was that one. I thought that was a good little topic that we could delve into a little bit. What do we thought? What are our thoughts? What do we think? What are our thoughts? What do you got? What do you think about that? My main concern, my primary concern amid all of those things is the classist issue, which is constantly painted with numerous different personalities who come out in favor of, like, let's get rid of all of these unhealthy foods, unhealthy snacks, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, the issue there is that those unhealthy foods and those unhealthy snacks allow poor people to eat. You know, it's why one of the most common foods that people eat on a broad scale is bread. Like, bread requires very few, very cheap ingredients, and it's very easy to get into your system, but bread, like, generally speaking, is pretty unhealthy. Z was going to have a shower. Rightio, Z. Well, I love you, by the way. That's my girlfriend. None of the rest of you get an I love you. Go fuck yourselves. Anyway, she gets it because, you know, reasons. I get head pats, though. Heck yeah. Oh, you're going to do the head pats for me? Okay. Yeah, all the carbs, all the... Let's not beat around the bush. All the complex carbohydrates are cheap. So... yeah, potatoes, bread, pasta, rice. Thank you for the head pat, Zuwu. Cringe, but I'm owning the cringe. Jamie Oliver doesn't like chicken nuggets, but he is a fuck nugget. Curious. In the end, though, aren't we all fuck nuggets? Oh shit, that's the wrong button. Anyway. Cringe is dead. Do what makes you happy. I saw a really great tweet that I loved recently, which said something along the lines of, you know that thing you might have seen around about game designers. Like, I want more games made by small teams who are passionate, who do it I want games made cheaper by smaller dev teams. That sort of thing, like, they're just generally speaking against the AAA games industry. And I saw something that was a similar notion, and there's a hair on my head that's annoying me right now. My hair's a mess, sorry. I saw something that was a similar concept about cringe content. And they were saying, I want to see a return to, like, cringe-style content of, like, just these really autistic people just indulging their hobbies and making YouTube videos and Twitch streams being the cringiest shit in the world, but it's fun to watch because they're enjoying it. That's just me, yeah. I do cringe content all the time. Everything I do is cringe. I do this because I love it, and that's the me loving it is the autistic cringe factor. Just watch The Office. No. We don't want that kind of cringe. We don't want. Well, depending on which kind of Office you're talking about, you could watch Ricky Gervais, you could watch Steve Carell. Like early YouTube. Yeah, people want to see a return to early YouTube. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Because, like, as long as those people, like, you know how people would make fun of the dudes who would have samurai swords? We watched a video of that guy recently who was chopping up water bottles and whatever. And, like, back in 2006 or whatever, watching that kind of thing would have been like, oh, this guy's such a fucking loser. Nowadays, I look at the guy with all these cool fucking Japanese weapons cutting up water bottles, and he's like this big dude. He's not small or whatever, and a lot of people would point fingers at him and laugh at him, and I'm looking at a dude having some fucking fun. I'm like, dude, that looks awesome. Hell yeah. Cut the shit out of those bottles. That's badass. You're a legend. Calling autistic people cringe was peak ableism. Absolutely. And the thing is that bled over into attacking other minority groups, attacking other marginalized groups. You know, people started making fun of anyone who was non-binary or trans because they had purple hair or some bullshit. Or like just the attack on feminism. Oh, look, all these feminists with their brightly colored underarm hair. It's so cringe-topia. And it's like, it was always just stock standard white supremacist bullshit, honestly. And what's hilarious is you look at the people who consider themselves the masters of cringe, the ones who are aware of all the cringe lore on the internet and find themselves holier than thou. And they're honestly pretty cringy people themselves. It looks like they really need a friend, and the only way they were able to find a friend was to find one through attacking other people, getting involved in communities that specifically targeted people they could point and laugh at. You know, because they didn't have any real friends outside the internet, you know. Fuck Musk, agreed. Saw a TikTok about this the other day, actually. Everyone is cringe, we should embrace it, yes. Where were we? People like Calvin Garra. I'm not entirely familiar with Calvin Garra. Star Wars kid, the fat phobia and ableism against someone having fun pretending to have a lightsaber as if we haven't all done it. Yeah, dude, I love swinging around. I've got a fake lightsaber. I've got, where is it? Where did I put it? Give me a sec. I mean, I literally have a sword in the background of my stream. I'm a pretty big fan of The Witcher. I bought a replica of Ciri's sword. I'm cringe as fuck, dude. Did you see the photo I posted on my Twitter? I cannot show you on stream. I've got to be careful here because I'm wearing a skirt. They're like, you know... Ow. They're making fun of... Yeah, they're bullies making fun of everyone different. Oh, Garra's a trans man version of Blair White. Okay, I'll actively avoid that one then. But yeah, like, it's kind of just... Oh, good night, folks. Have a good one. Thank you so much for constantly pointing this shit out to me. I feel like you learn a lot every time I'm in your stream. I'm glad. Thank you so much for... like, treating me as a bit of an educator. I like to think I have some wisdom up in this smooth brain temple of mine. Anyway. But yeah, I think it honestly, it comes down to hurt people hurting people at the end of the day. The people who were facilitating the cringe movement, shall we say, were definitely doing so from a... Why was my mic peaking? We're definitely doing so from a position of they're not happy. These are not happy people, you know. You already know everything personally. I like to think of myself as knowing everything. Just kind of trying to keep people to the social concept of what is normal, but screw normalcy. Let's all be our unique misfit selves. Hell yes, absolutely. Enjoy what you enjoy. Love what you love. Love who you love. You know, do whatever the fuck makes you happy. Is something we should absolutely not be rebuking in modern society. In a more... like, just in general, just in, like, not even like framing this as a Western society thing. We should be allowed to embrace the things that bring us joy. There is so much focus on people hating certain things and needing to hate something. Like, there are so many people out there who absolutely desperately have to find a reason to hold disdain for a thing, which is completely just unjustifiable in my opinion. It is fishnet time. How you going, Lictar? Gonna get myself some fishnet stockings next, I think. And some more chokers. I want more chokers. Meow. Yeah, Smudge wants attention. As the guy from Little Miss Sunshine says, do what you want and do what you love and fuck the rest. Exactly. Oh god, I pulled on this a little bit and now my earlobe hurts. Ah, I did it again. Oh my god, these are dangerous. Don't get these fucking earrings. Good lord. I'm gonna tear my earlobe out. Hang on. I might have to take these. There's no way. There's simply no way I would be able to wear these in public. I might get the big pentagrams though. You've seen Pinoppy, I'm sure. Like we're friends with Pinoppy around here. She's good people. She's got these huge pentagram hoop earrings, and I might try to get myself a pair of those instead. These are fucking heavy. Oh my god. Thought it wasn't there. You thought it was another stray outside your window. Sadly not. I gotta get those out. Oh. Free streamer advice. We weren't even doing stream. Yeah, whatevs. We were on streamer advice. Then we started. Then we started watching the video trashing Jamie Oliver, and I'm all for trashing Jamie Oliver. He's a cunt. Oh, I want to put my studs back in. I love my studs, but fuck, dude. Oh, goodness me. That is, ow, achy. I'm gonna let those sit for a bit. Free streamer advice, trash Jamie Oliver. You know what I want to get, actually? I want to get, like, those spikes that, like, start here and they go down. But I've only seen those as, like, stretchers. I want just, like, regular, just spike earrings that are just earrings. I don't want to stretch my ears. I love a good pair of studs. I've had my studs since I got my ears pierced. They're really good. You can send a funny TikTok if you want. What is real cringe? Your SIL giving her husband a little mock baby hook. Baby book, sorry. With the title, Daddy's First Book on Household Chores, explaining basic housekeeping tasks for men. They have 3 kids together. Oh, goodness me. That is cringe. Yeah, that's kind of... It's cringy behavior because it's manipulative, honestly. Smudge, are you okay? I seem to be into goth aesthetics. I am. Well, was that the aesthetic when I was younger? When I was like 20. And then I drifted from it for a good while. Like, I had trip clothes when I was younger. I've got a trip set now. And I had a few other things. But I've only really relatively recently gotten back into it. For a while there, I just lived in activewear. And then, like, in the past year odd, I've been rediscovering my my aesthetic styles, and I've drifted back to goth, back to alternative kind of looks, and I'm finding I really love it. This is just like where I'm at. This is my vibe, you know. I would like to do something with my hair, honestly, and I really, really want to get myself a pair of cybergoth goggles. I love the like, you can tell I like headbands. I want to get goggles to sit on my head, just because I used to have a pair of those. And I got rid of them, which is sad, because they were like legit sunglasses too. Hello, arms dealer, how's it going? I really wish I had those again. I'm gonna get a pair at some point, when I've got some extra cash. Cybergoth goggles are badass, they really are. I'll show you some. Subscribe now so I can buy some. Okay, what do we got? Oh, can I listen to DMCA-able stuff? Is it DMCA? I'm gonna mute it. Let's have a look. What are you doing, Smudge? Jesus. How do I, like, make it big? There's no music. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, there is. No. It's a chain. Is this it? Yeah, I can't listen to anything with DMCA on it. Which I think Linkin Park would count. What the fuck? What the fuck's going on there? Anyway. I don't know. Oh, we can get rid of Jamie Oliver's War on Nuggets. Yeah, I can't even listen to like a second of DMCA-able music just in case. I play it very, very safe when it comes to music. I refuse to listen to anything that's like popular at all. Anything that could even vaguely eke into DMCA territory, I do not touch it. I won't play GTA, for example, on stream. I mean, I don't play games on stream generally anyway, aside from last night. Call back to Nu Metal Wallet Chain. Oh, heck. I missed that. I missed that completely. Fuck. I wanted to have a wallet chain when I was younger. I never got one. I saw people with the wallet chains. I'm like, that looks so cool. Hell yeah. New Metal's coming back. Limp Bizkit released a new album yesterday. I wanna check that out, actually. I quite like a few Limp Bizkit songs. I didn't used to when I was younger. When I was a kid, I was very picky about the music I listened to. For some dumb reason. There were so many things I never got into because I felt they would make me a bit F-slurry. Which was not based on anything, by the way. It was a dumb thing I made in my head. Honestly, one of the most autistic things I did was I gate-kept things from myself because I thought people would perceive me differently if I liked them. Fun fact. I was streaming Looney Tunes, and among the 6 whole hours the thing that got audio muted was the cartoon where Bugs plays the piano because the classical music got targeted. Kids are dumb in that way. Yeah, true. Kids won't like things that their parents like because their parents like it and their parents are weird. Yeah, parents are gross. Parents cringe. You know. I hope to teach my kids to get over that shit, honestly. It's like, just like what you like. If you don't like what I like, okay. Parents have interests. My interests lately have been the Skyrim OST. I'm listening to the Skyrim OST basically on repeat. Got through the whole thing today. part of it during my workout. It's just nice to listen to, honestly. There's so many good tracks in there. Anyway, he was super N-log and didn't wear anything that wasn't either unicolor or striped, no prints. Far Horizons, though. Which one's Far Horizons? We could listen to that. We can listen to Skyrim music because we can play Skyrim on stream. And honestly, it's just like, it's such a vibe. I know which one Far Horizons is. Where is it? I had it here. There we go. No, that's not it either. Where's the Skyrim soundtrack? I've been listening to it, Spotify. What are you fucking doing? Where is it? It's in... I do remember... this one. Oh. Fuck. I think, like... For those of you who are subbed, by the way, I'm going to point this out. The Rogue Room is going to be my entire Twitch content. Excuse me. If you're in my Discord server, I'm going to be doing sub-only gaming streams on my Discord server on Saturday, starting from this week. And those will be in the Painted World section, where there is a Phantom Hangout Discord room, where I'll be doing gaming streams. I'm going to finish the Outer Wilds DLC in there. I may still do it this Friday. We'll see how we go. The Outer Wilds DLC is a fucking banger, by the way. But I'll turn this down a little bit because I don't want to drown myself out. But yeah. No, this is Skyrim, so this track has probably got a similar sounding track in Oblivion. Honestly, I've gone back and I've seen people playing Oblivion and Morrowind, and I'm like, the music is similar, but it's been like redone, sort of thing. Which I do like that. I like that consistency of the soundtrack. And like you listen to the Dragonborn soundtrack, and then you go back and you replay Oblivion, and you're like, oh, you listen to the main menu music for Oblivion, and it's like, oh, yeah. But yeah, I'm moving my my gaming streams off Twitch to Discord on Saturday nights. Same time as my usual streams, but all of my Twitch streams are going to be just chatting from now on. So if you are subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. I'm going to be doing gaming streams there, or I might move them to YouTube. But I don't want to do them on Twitch because they've been hitting my analytics pretty hard. People don't stick around for the gaming streams, so I'm going to move them off Twitch. It's like variations on a theme, yeah. This reminds me of the Disco Elysium OST. I'll have to check that out. To be fair, you were N-log because this was before I learned other girls were also gay. Fair. I'm not like the other girls. I have a penis. Anyway. Hard Space Shipbreaker Americana Beats to Chill To. That sounds pretty cool. I'll give that a look. I'll watch that. I'll not share. I'll save that for later. Excuse me. Hang on. I've got a playlist that's just mellow video game OSTs. Like, I could put that on now. Which has got... Is this one in it? This one isn't even in it. Why is Far Horizons not even in it? Add to chill ambient game music. I've only got like 11 tracks in there. What am I fucking doing? Hello, Scribbles. How's it going? Hello, Mustard on Watermelon. That sounds like a banger combo. Not gonna lie. This has been your first stream and it's been so much fun. I'm glad you've been having fun, Jerry. Awesome. Leaning forward carelessly from certain positions, for example, is issues. Is issues? What? Quite possible to do accidentally. What have we missed? What have I missed? What's my favorite game? Probably Dark Souls. Or Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne might be a more accurate thing. But there are certain games like Skyrim, for example, that have a huge amount of... excuse me. Have a huge amount of sentiment towards... have a huge amount of sentiment to me. They mean a lot. There's a lot of games that mean a lot to me. So, like, I think there are certain games that give me comfort specifically. I don't play them to get, like, an aggressive rush or any shit like that. Like, Bloodborne and the Souls games in particular are games that are weirdly comfort games to me. But particularly, I think Dark Souls and Bloodborne are probably tied for my favorite game. And then you've got, like, say, Skyrim is up there as another comfort game. Stardew Valley, Minecraft, World of Warcraft used to be, but I can't play it in good conscience anymore. Trying to think what else is there. If I go back further in time, Warcraft 3, Jedi Academy are two games that I really, really love and I love to go back to. What else is there? There's a few in there. I adore Celeste for various reasons. Shout out to Warcraft 3 mods, yeah. I mean, I just liked Warcraft 3 on its own. I love the story of Arthas, honestly. Just like the playthrough of like Reign of Chaos and the Frozen Throne. His storyline is incredible. They're talking about nut crushing, okay. And Outer Wilds has a special place in my heart just because it honestly introduced me to a new way of playing video games. Gaming stream idea. Me and Zero take you through Destiny 2. That could work. That could work. Yeah. I'm down. Minecraft is really good to kill time when I'm really anxious about an upcoming thing. That's a good idea, actually, yeah. Hello, Bubbinsky. How's it going? You should play Outer Wilds. Not Outer Worlds, because Outer Worlds is kind of mediocre on the gameplay front. It's got a cool aesthetic. It's got some cool storytelling elements to it, but the gameplay is blando. Marlon Blando. Outer Wilds, however, incredible. Abby's down for a threesome. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Of course I am. Yeah. I'm a slut. Anyway. We didn't get into renting tonight. It's okay. That's alright. Free streamer advice is still my title. I'm not going to bother changing it. We'll do renting tomorrow because like some of the news stories about the renting thing are a bit old, but I did want to talk about the renting crisis in Australia. The prices are going up. The rent is too damn high. I saw that Alberici tweet. Do you mean Albanese tweet? Did Albanese say anything? Did Anthony Albanese say anything? I did want to mention something earlier as well. Just on the subject of pollies, on the subject of politicians. You'll be over in 20 months. Hey, me and my GF saw you from across the chat and we like your energy. Australia and Australians is trending. What the fuck is this? Oh, my cat's found my laundry. Okay. I won't cop sledging on Australia. Scott Morrison has arrived in Glasgow for the COP26 climate summit. He has responded to French President Emmanuel Macron's criticisms over the submarine contract. Okay. Probably just ScoMo dropping us in the shit. Here's the thing. I saw the clip of Emmanuel Macron and his thoughts on Scott Morrison. He specifically said he likes Australians and he doesn't like Scott Morrison. He called Scott Morrison a liar. Because Scott Morrison is a fucking dirty liar. Like, let's be real with ourselves here. Scott Morrison's a cunt. Think your Twitter trends is broken because you constantly get piss is currently trending in Australia. Artie must have a banger tweet then. Rent is too high, therefore I offer up my place for lodging for cute goth girls. That's a fair point. Macron was very careful to specifically only call out ScoMo and not Australia, and ScoMo comes out and says it was the polar opposite. Here's the thing, it's like, I wonder who ScoMo is pandering to at this point. Why wouldn't he, like, no one's going to agree with you, Scott, is my issue. Is like, there's no one in Australia that likes Scott Morrison. He's not a likable person. He's not trying to correct any sort of narrative because there's no fans of Scott Morrison here that are going to stand by him and say, yeah, that Emmanuel Macron was bad-mouthing our good PM. No, there's no one, Scott. No one likes you at all. At the next election, you're going to be tried at The Hague. Like, no one, the entire country is going to be saying, Scott Morrison faced the wall. Like, nobody likes him. He didn't get elected. Do even the right-wing nationalists not like him? Even them. Even Pauline Hanson can't fucking stand Scott Morrison. God, next election can't come soon enough. I can't fucking wait. Wouldn't be surprised if his church mates hate him. He's an insufferable dickhead. Honestly. So for Scott Morrison to try to change any narrative is laughable. Even Murdoch media doesn't like him. Jesus. And he's their patsy. Like, all verbal submissions are final. Isn't ScoMo the one that forced the handshake on the pregnant woman in the bad? Yes, that's him. That's him who went to like a small town that had been ravaged by bushfires with a bag of groceries carried by one of his goons. And he also tried to shake hands with a bunch of other people who had been working to put out the fires. And one of the people there, one of the men present was like, I'm not going to shake your hand, mate. Like, literally just turned him down. Turned down the Prime Minister of the country. Have a good one, Mini Hood. Catch you later. The Hague, don't soil our grounds with him standing on an enemy. We're going to take him to... No, I'm not going to make any more jokes about killing the Prime Minister. That's in poor taste. Yeagerly, a little bit of extra context. He believes that laying on hands... Yes, he legitimately... Like, Scott Morrison legitimately believes he was chosen by God to be the Prime Minister. Imagine how much God must hate you if he chose you to be the Prime Minister of this shithole country. Like... Nobody likes Scott Morrison. At all. I'm just gonna say... I don't have any evidence for this. But I've seen no one speaks positively about him at all, period. Any media personality, any other politicians, anyone who has any kind of platform in Australia, anyone who has any platform outside of Australia, who knows of Scott Morrison's existence, he's universally loathed. He's not a liked person. If he pulled a Harold Holt, nobody would care. Was it Harold Holt? Yeah, Harold Holt disappearance. For those of you who don't know, on the 17th of December 1967, Harold Holt, the Prime Minister of Australia, disappeared while swimming in the sea near Portsea, Victoria. An enormous search operation was mounted in and around Cheviot Beach, but his body was never recovered. Holt was presumed to have died, and his memorial service 5 days later was attended by many world leaders. It is generally agreed that his disappearance was a simple case of an accidental drowning, but a number of conspiracy theories surfaced, most famously the suggestion that he had been collected by a Chinese submarine. Holt was the third Australian Prime Minister to die in office after Joseph Lyons in 1939 and John Curtin in 1945. He was initially replaced in a caretaker capacity by John McEwen, and then by John Gorton following a Liberal Party leadership election. Holt's death has entered Australian folklore and was commemorated by, among other things, the Harold Holt Memorial Swimming Centre. Yes. There you go. Abducted by the CIA, the Chinese Infiltration Association. Anyways, it was just... There's some fun Australian lore for you. There are no scomosexuals. I'm stealing that, Cody. I'm sorry. That's going in the tweets. That kind of BS is so Australian. We are a weird country. It's no surprise to me that so many people doubt Australia's existence. But it's like, well, yeah, have you heard the kind of shit that comes out of this country? Drop bears, tarantulas that eat your face, don't box a kangaroo, like, yeah. We're just based. We are just based. I live near Harold Holt Memorial Swimming Pool. Yes, we built a swimming pool for him. I'm going to say outright right now, I feel like Harold Holt... I don't know anything about Harold Holt, honestly. We are also very drunk. I don't know anything about Harold Holt, but just knowing what I know of most Aussies, most Orca blokes, he strikes me as a bit of an Orca bloke, mate. I feel like he'd have a laugh at that. It's like, oh, they named a bloody swimming pool after me. That's hilarious. He was an avid swimmer. He'd probably love it. Anyway. Darkstorm Rock, I feel like you're baiting, and you can kindly take your bait and throw yourself back in the ocean. Thank you kindly. You were in another chat the other day, and I mentioned I watched Bad Bunny stream, and apparently a lot of people hate her. Yes. The $5 a month campaign brought a lot of hate on her. A lot of unnecessary hate. She's a lovely person, honestly. It's really ridiculous. And it's just because she's an avid leftist commentator, generally speaking, and a woman who's outspoken. And a lot of people, like, still latch onto that thing that happened, like, 2 years ago. It's ridiculous. And, yes, like, she's admitted she was kind of, like, falling down the alt-right pipeline. It's in her bio on Twitch. And she corrected course and has now started, like, learning a lot of things. She's educating herself on a lot of leftist ideas. And is helping to educate more people and helping more people go down... to better ideologies, I suppose you could say, helping educate people. She provides a good atmosphere. She raised a lot of money the other day, along with myself and numerous other streamers, for Trans Lifeline and Mutual Aid, which, is categorically a good thing. So, we have a lot of respect for Bad Bunny here. We love Bad Bunny. And I think, hello, you definitely cannot appear on stream like that. She's wearing a gorilla costume. I don't know why. Where'd you even get that? I'm making... Hope she realizes that one day. Yeah. I you know, it's one of those things, right? I think a lot of us have got those issues, though. I think there are a lot of people who are... And this comes back around to the imposter syndrome thing. We were talking about... Me and my girlfriend were talking about this before today. About how... What was the tweet that I mentioned to you? It's like one surefire way to cure imposter syndrome is to walk into a university classroom. Like... It was something like that. It's like, and I can attest to this. I've been in numerous uni classrooms throughout my life. So many people who I'm amazed are even present. You know? Okay. Lucky the stream's ending soon. Anyway, Dylan and Vorsh hate her, and the hate seems mutual. So, it's a complex thing. I don't know everybody's interpersonal relationships with regards to the online leftist space, so... I think they were mad that she has that pass, but still holds other streamers' passes against them. It's tricky, that whole territory, which is why I don't tend to get involved in personal conflicts. They're cozy with Shoe on Head, whose redemption I'm highly skeptical of, especially since she keeps saying even more reactionary stuff as time goes on, including like finding Tucker Carlson attractive. I can't trust anyone who finds Tucker Carlson of all people attractive. The man looks like an android. Hello, folks. How's it going? It's so odd, it is. It's like... It's weird. It reminds me of a chat you had with an Aussie gay friend of yours. You can be such a basic bitch, you know that? No, I'm not, but I guess one typical thing I enjoy, and I'll admit, Thule. Goddamn, I am basic. Good night, Marcos. Have a good one. It's very late here, too. It's like 11:55. Gonna be calling it soon. Oh, shucks, we didn't hit our daily sub goal. Our third daily sub goal. Looking for a new place because your landlord wants his boyfriend to move in with him, but you find otherwise. That's rough. I'm so sorry to hear that. We were going to do the freaking rent stream tonight, but we didn't do the rent. I did bitch about rent a little bit. But, you know, we didn't bitch enough about rent. We got to bitch about rent more tomorrow. Damn, there's a lot of people liking my post about... Fucking hell. I feel like I can't delete this live post now. Oops. Because there's like 45 likes on it. Like, okay, I'll just leave the post up for the sake of... You can like my outfit. Anyway. I'll leave that one up just because, like, if people come to my stream and I'm not live, they can be disappointed and follow my stream and subscribe to me. I'm okay with this thing. You can do that. You wanted to move anyway? You're tired of this place? I'm tired of where I live too. I want to get out of here, but as we were going to get into earlier, which we didn't. We got so sidetracked. Fuck, we got talking about NFTs. Nuggies. We got talking about nugs. Chicken nuggies and how Jamie Oliver's a shit cunt. What else did we talk about? We did streamer advice for a bit. And then, like, yeah. And now we've been chilling and vibing and talking about fucking Harold Holt. And, yeah, we talked about Harold Holt. Do I look cuddly? I mean, it's kind of, it honestly doesn't feel very cuddly. I can't imagine being in this for more than a few hours. I'm going to wear this out when I go out for drinks soon, though. Hopefully I can go to a place that allows me to wear fishnet tops. It was a cute outfit, though, hey. There is that one girl in my uni that asks very basic studying questions in our faculty chat every week, and she is like, in the 10th plus semester? Fuck me, dead. Who is Jamie Oliver again? Yeah, we're talking about the chef. It's more of a night look. It is very much a going out kind of vibe. I'm literally wearing a bralette, like just as a top under a fishnet. Live in the cheapest university city in all of Germany. Germany. You live in Germany now, okay? Germany, and we are planning on moving soon, and every time we search for places we get so depressed because we are so spoiled right now. Exactly. And that's kind of the problem that I'm kind of looking at as it stands right now. Is like, with regards to where I live, rent is going up gradually, bit by bit, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue living here on the income I have, unless, you know, I start pulling in 500 subs a week or something. I don't know, you know. I'm not going to go cuddle with your girlfriend in that outfit. I mean, I'll take the top off because it's like, honestly, getting a little bit irritable. Moving around in it, it's like, it's not... Yeah. It's not very stretchy. It's not very flexible material. Anyways, I'm still listening to the Skyrim soundtrack. I was talking about how I was listening to the Skyrim soundtrack today. It's a good soundtrack, okay? I like it. You should play it. You need to play Skyrim. Everyone tell her she needs to play Skyrim. You saw a cool TikTok the other day about how to make a top from pantyhose. Oh, that's pretty cool. You were scrolling through one of your dating apps and you messaged a girl. It looks perfect for you. Ooh, exciting. Parents rented their place in 2009 and considering moving now that all kids moved out, they can now get a flat half the size of their current one for the same price. That is fucked. That's shit. That's bullshit. Holy fucking Christ. What the hell? Okay. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Oh, I'm over here. I'm in the way. Okay. This is kind of cute. She's got pantyhose. Okay. I mean, yeah, I get it. I feel like that'd be very disposable, though. Like, you know, you'd wear it like once or twice and it would get ruined. Honestly, probably. I don't know. Hey, play Skyrim. I'm gonna play Skyrim. I want to get back on Skyrim. I've been playing a little bit of it recently, reading the lore and stuff on my Switch. I mean, I know we say that like Skyrim is a game. Generally speaking, a lot of people will say get Skyrim on PC because you can mod the fuck out of it. But honestly, it has a lot of merits as a vanilla game. It's quite good by itself. So I'm keen to get back into it a little bit. I think it's gonna become my new chill game for a while. Where like if I have downtime, I'm gonna spend some time playing that. Honestly, because I haven't played it in a bit. I think I deserve to have a bit of a, you know, chill game kind of vibe. Were there hugs? Fuck. No. No hugs. No one redeemed hugs because you're all a bunch of bastards. You can come give me one if you like. No. Oh. More like pantyho, am I right? Oh, got him. Skyrim with Requiem. I've got to try Requiem. I've never tried Requiem before, honestly. There's a thing. Anyway. Who have we not raided recently? Noom! We haven't raided Noom recently. I'm going to raid Noom. I'm going to go send you to... Oh, there we go. Jono redeemed hugs. Hang on. Very quickly. Before we wrap up. Before we... Oh, yes. Legacy of the Dragonborn I've heard is good. Okay, let me make sure my skirt's not up. My spine hurts. I need to have, like... Damn, this actually, like, hang on. Like... This makes my midsection look fucking good, hey.
You just noticed.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, damn. Uss. Exclamation mark, hug all. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Uss. Hang on. Can I do this one? Oh my god, go in there, would you? Please. For the love of God. Oh, fuck. Can't get the thing in the shot anyway. Let's do... I posted something similar to the Ziz on the gram. Anyway. You can't really tell my my muscle definition in this thing. Like, if for some reason it works on my abs, but not on my arms. Anyway, stop showing off with something I can't have. But you can have it. I started working out nearly 5 years ago. So, you know. Have I read the Ziz workout book? No, I only know, like, bits and pieces about Ziz as a meme. Honestly. Let me turn the music down a little bit. It's a bit loud. We're still listening to the, We're still listening to Skyrim soundtrack, because fuck it, why not? I can do that. Anyway, we're going to go raid Noom, who is playing some Satisfactory, which looks pretty neat. I've never actually played it. Seems to be somewhat decent, but you know nothing about getting gains. It's basically, you know, if you want to pack on muscle mass, eat lots of fat, complex, Yeah, fat, protein, complex carbohydrates, but not as many carbs as you are eating fats and proteins. And go for hypertrophy if you want to build muscle mass, which is more reps, lower weight. What have you got? Oh, did it break? Oh, okay. We could do a whole fitness talk tomorrow if you just want. I like talking fitness. Anywho, yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. If you're not already following me, like, fucking everywhere else. There's my Twitter, my Discord, my YouTube, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok. We'll cover rent tomorrow, and we'll also do... Yeah, we'll do fitness chats. I love fitness chats. That's always fun. I think my girlfriend wants my attention. Yeah. Have a good one, everybody. Be kind to yourselves and each other. I love your faces. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you.